Let's see. How do I look and sound? Holy cow, what up, Kent? How you doing? He was here early. Nice topic for tonight. I figure if the top three over from San Antonio Rodeo can use a pellet smoker, why can't I? Yeah. Terry says, hey, yo. What up, Terry? Back it up, Terry. Grumper says, hey, dashing everybody. Kent. Neil says, good evening, everyone. How are we today? We're fantastic. Fantastic. Yo, can we talk about... So I got a new phone. Can you guys hear me okay, first and foremost? But I got a new phone. And man, oh man, this is crispy. Y'all can count my gray hairs. Man, I'm glad I shaved my head. I should have trimmed my beard up a little bit for this evening. Goodness gracious. No, not right now. Sorry. So, shout out to those folks who are watching on the replay. Thank you very much for watching on the replay. What's good? Shout out Bumpy, obviously, first and foremost. Those of you guys who watch on the replay or are going to watch this one on the replay, comment down below, replay gang. I won't say we play this game every week, but we, those who are rewatchers, I try to shout you guys out. And I know for sure Bumpy watches this later if he doesn't join us on the live stream as well. So, Isam said, what up, big fella? What happened to your Eagles? All right, so I should have put in the title, we're not talking about it. That's it. I think perfect segue. So, this is a little gift from my guy. This is a peach brandy. Little something different. My guy's like, try this. Okay. So, this is one of those things where man, that was for Victor. Victor is not doing, I won't say 100%, it's not doing the worst, but he's got some things going on. And he won't be able to join us tonight. Can't about to get blocked. You can't tell me what we going to or not going to do. Look, so that's why I have this little teeny jar, because usually I have a bigger jar, and that's when I get myself doubly in trouble. So we're just gonna, have a little. Yeah. Like some said, be careful. Yeah. Always that. Finish. Just go ahead, hurry up. Taste Hustle number 1 inevitably waits until 9 o'clock to do something in the kitchen that is loud. I have only been doing the same live stream for like 5 years. 5 years. Every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. I wonder why, too, he decides to run the blender tonight, is what he's doing. I wonder why. I don't know. Can you hear him? Anyway, Isam, I'm glad you were entertained. So I found this is a new Rockstar flavor. It is strawberry peach. I figured peach brandy, it might be good with the strawberry peach energy drink. So we shall see. It's a little faint in the strawberry and the peachiness, but that's probably because of the fact that it's sugar-free. I don't know, Neil. Why do kids do anything at all? I don't know. I mean, you need more liquid.
It's done.
It is? Okay.
I put everything in there so that I can know what it wants or show me what it wants.
Neil, how are you this evening, sir? Mm. Hey, Bumpy, I haven't forgotten about you. I know you know, that wood. I'm probably going to be able to come up there. Um, I might actually reach out to you and see about coming up there on Saturday afternoonish, Saturday evening, or taste test number one is trying to get my good graces. He's allowing me to taste a smoothie. Thank you.
Where are you going with that? I know you're not going to your bedroom.
No.
Oh, all right.
Bananas, strawberry, yummy. When's your next big catering event? I don't know. I don't have anything lined up per se. It ebbs and flows, man. I just did that event a few weeks ago, and I don't have anything on the books. I probably we might go away for Easter. I know folks sometimes get me the smoked lamb, or some folks want turkey sometimes for Easter as well. So we will have to see what happens come Easter. But I don't have anything right now planned. This past weekend, for whatever, well, that was the Super Bowl. I'm like, for whatever reason, it was a Super Bowl. Kind of forgot. Said all of that. All of that, I'm okay. No problem. No problem. Well, thank you for asking. I'm not too bad. Tried to cook a chuck roast last weekend, and it turned out to be the worst chuck roast I've ever cooked. Oh no. Well, how did you try to cook it? Perfect segue. Did you use a pellet cooker? um, did you use the pellet cooker? Item said, how long did it take you to become an expert in smoking food? It was one of those things where a lot of trial and error, and I didn't. I won't say I didn't. I still don't think I'm an expert because I still mess up. There are things that I mess up. Um, Case in point, this past weekend I cooked some lamb for someone, and it just so happened I overcooked it. I was kind of just relying on keeping track of time, and I did not use a temperature probe, and it was a little overdone. Um, so my I think I need to put new batteries in my thermometer, my probes that I use, my remote or wireless probes. But I think it's also time for me to just change them out and get some new ones. So, but to answer your question, it probably a good 2 to 5 years more or less for me to get brisket right, like down pat every time, like consistent. It took me 7 years to get that right. So, but it depends. I've been grilling for a long time. I just didn't do barbecue. Grill Sergeant said, Team Pellet Grills. What's up? Oh my goodness. Man, how you doing? Mr. Suburban Barbecue was here. We have some internet YouTube royalty who doesn't actually post videos to his internet YouTube royalty account. I haven't forgotten. CS says, what up, Dash? My pit boss, Austin, pellet smoker, has a built-in electric thermometer and it's off by 100 degrees. Well, I would tell you to hit up Pit Boss and see about getting a new probe, because that probe is probably just the only thing, and that probe might cost $3 to $5 in shipping if they aren't willing to just send you one. I wouldn't put up with that probe being off. That's something that is either you're just gonna have to know that that's the temperature you have to hit 100 degrees higher, or you just reach out to Pit Boss. I'm sure Pit Boss is pretty decent with their customer service. Neil said I used the pellet smoker. I smoked it at 225. I brought it up to 165, wrapped and cooked it to 205, and it still was the worst one I've ever cooked. What was wrong, Neil, specifically? If you cooked it in the pellet grill, one of the things that I'm gonna guess it was dry. Um, the reason being is the pellet is convection, um, and I won't say a lot of people don't account for that convection in their cook times and their cooking. In my opinion, myself included, I got caught out there a time or two. So what I found that I had to do is lower the temperature a little bit because the lower temperature and the convection will give you the same temperature type of time cook as you would imagine on a regular ish cooker. Bumpy, what's going on, man? I did just mention Bumpy. Probably won't be able to link up with you this week, but next week my wife is going away, so I'll have some free afternoons. D Dub said a buddy of mine donated me a green egg after he got a new pellet grill. I'm falling in love with that green egg. So D Dub, I'll tell you what, man. It's one of those things, right? Like I was actually yesterday. I have a friend, childhood friend. She was over my house and I actually smoked the brisket for her and her girlfriend. Um, her girlfriend has a Traeger, but her girlfriend's Traeger caught on fire this past weekend. Because the Traeger caught on fire, she wasn't able to cook the brisket. So I said, hey, just bring it to my house. She lives right around the corner. I'm like, yo, bring it to my house, and I'll smoke it for you. So I did. I put it in the smoker. I put it actually on Tracy and used the um I'm sorry. I put it on Charlotte, the Weber kettle, and I used the slow and sear. Problem is, I overcooked it a little bit. I went and I put it in the oven so I can kind of keep cooking while I went to get my daughter. By the time I came back from getting my daughter, it was a little past where I would have liked it to be. But also, I don't know what grade the brisket was, and I think that it might have been I won't say a higher, but a better cut, because she got it from a butcher, and this thing, I mean, it fell apart, like fell apart. So I think that is a lesson for myself that sometimes people buy briskets from, like a butcher, and yeah, in my opinion, I would have, lesson learned. I would have cooked it a little less. Like I would have said, okay, I probably could take in a half an hour or so off of my cook time, or lowered the done temperature or that probe done temperature by a few degrees, and it probably would have been pretty spot on. It wasn't like mush. Like I've had mush briskets, and actually it was a mush beef tongue. But it wasn't that. But it was, as I was slicing it, some of the pieces were tearing apart a little more than I would have cared for. No problem, CS. Jeremy said I don't own an easy bake oven, so I can't comment on pellet grill smoker, but I do use a pellet tube when smoking salmon and short charcoal cooks when I want smoke flavor. So here's one thing, Jeremy, and I think this is one of those things that I think people like to poo poo on pellet grills. You shouldn't, man. I mean, my wife is giving me the. I see you guys, all of you. They're all giving me sad faces. Why you can sit right there and you could talk to me. You can't cuddle. No, I'm sorry. Okay, goodbye. Good night. All right, so Jeremy, don't poo poo on what someone is cooking on. And it was, I'm gonna say, in fashion to poo poo and say, oh, easy bake this, and I give grief to my wife's pellet grill, excuse me, propane grill, and call it an outdoor oven. It really is, but the thing is, she cooks on it, she grills on it. So don't discourage someone because that's what they have, and that's what they're using. So even though I'm gonna say I say it myself about her propane grill, it's her outdoor oven. It really is an outdoor oven though, but I'm not talking down on it. All motor K, oh EK. All right, so Traeger's been good to me so far. Urban culture, what up, KC? So I want. It's one of those things, right? I I think I've had my Traeger now for 5, maybe 6 years, and there are better there are better Traegers and there are better pellet cookers out there. And I don't always say pellet grill or pellet smoker. I say pellet cooker because you can kind of do both, right? But there are different pellet cookers out there in the meantime because, of course, innovations and things have changed and things have gotten better and or things have gotten worse too. So my trigger is, you know, it's not the best example and it's not the worst example. Grumpy says I've had probes go bad a couple of times. Now I always follow up with a thermal pen for a second opinion. Yep. KC says it's good to see everyone. Yes. What's the topic? We're talking about to pellet grill or not to pellet grill. And actually, I should have said pellet cooker or not to pellet cooker. I think it was just the gripping. Bumpy said, okay, just stopping by to say what's up. Rewatch gang. Hopefully we can shoot for next week. Yes, yes, yes. Bumpy said, what up, everyone? Peace. Neil said, instead of putting it in an aluminum pan, I wrapped it in butcher paper. It was right full of gristle. It looked really good. Then I brought it to some. Of it was too bad. But the most of it was just like, it's like an old boot because it was I was full of gristle. So one of the things about chuck roast, you really, really, really have to eat. I feel like you almost have to braise it, like, and putting it in the butcher paper as opposed to the, or yeah, putting it in the butcher paper as opposed to aluminum pan didn't allow for braising, in my opinion. When you put it in a butcher paper, it's not going to get enough of that. Just it's not going to braise the way you really need it to. Um, because that butcher paper is going to allow a lot of that moisture that would be captured in an aluminum pan to help braise that chuck. Excuse me, braise that chuck to help break it down. It's just not going to allow that to happen. Also, the butcher paper, depending on what type of butcher paper did you use. Now, here's another question: was it pink? Was it brown? Or was it white? All right. There are differences between those three. Actually, I had someone ask me yesterday, well, what's the difference? The white butcher paper is for frozen meats. The brown butcher paper is for raw stuff, in my opinion. And the pink butcher paper is for cooking. Girl said preach. Girl sergeant said preach. I don't know. It was an old boot because it was full of gristle. Jim from Suburban Barbecue said, hey, KC, great looking channel. I just subbed. Girl Sergeant said 90% of people getting into barbecue are getting pellet smokers, and everyone tries to make fun of people that want to learn. Yeah, man. I have a saying that I say to my kids all the time: don't yuck someone else's yum. And that's how I feel about pellet grills as well. I mean, there were people that were giving me grief after I got my pellet grill. Why would you cook on that pellet grill when you have the big green egg right next to it? Because my wife gave me the pellet grill. Duh. Why you should get rid of that pellet grill? You need to, buy yourself. It was a gift. I'm not going to give that gift away. I'm not going to sell that gift. I'm not going to put it in the corner. I'm actually going to use the gift. And here's the thing: if you actually gave the time of day to a pellet cooker, you understand out of the out of the big green egg, the pellet cooker, the Weber kettle, my tabletop griddle. I'm just going down the line. The tabletop griddle and the number one drum. Out of those, I think it was 5. Sammy, Traeger, Charlotte. Yep, 5. Out of those 5 things, I use the pellet grill most. You know why? It's the most convenient. I actually used the pellet grill tonight and made steak for us. I made ribeyes for us. Turned it on 250 degrees. Put the steaks on there for half an hour while I was making potatoes in the house. Dropped it simple. Walked away. Sat outside in the front of the house. Drank a couple beers. On my phone on YouTube while I was cooking. Man, it smelled delicious the entire time. And because I cooked at a lower temperature, those steaks actually had a little bit of flavor. I'm just saying. Jeremy said, I'm not poo-pooing them, just don't own one. That's just why I call them. Just like electric smoker or propane. But the point I'm trying to make is don't look down upon somebody just because they're cooking on something different than you are. The point is, in this community, I would love to foster the brotherhood, the camaraderie that we all would like to, we're all cooking. Just if that's not your thing, then let it not be your thing. But there's no need to look down on somebody because they don't have a $50,000 smoker. That's not the way that we should do each other. Um, I'm gonna step off my soapbox and let's see. There's a use for anything you can cook on or with, Jeremy says. Yeah. CS says the best smoked turkey I ever made is on the pellet grill. It adds the most consistent level of light smoking to the turkey than when I use my Weber. Now, I will concur with that. KC said I like the Green Mountain pellet grills. All right. I love the pellet grill, KC says. Grumpus says I don't have a dog in this hunt. Yet. But a pellet cooker is not on my short list yet. Sonny G, what's going on? Philly checking in. He says, good evening, everyone. Jim said, I actually love to have a pellet grill. The Rec Tech looks decent. Yo, so it's one of those things, right? I really, really, really equate a pellet grill to cars. And I say this because you're never going to get 100% of the options or the things that you want in every single vehicle. And if you are, or if you do, you're going to pay through the nose for something that's quasi-custom, that you can customize to get the extra bits and bobs that you want specifically for what it is that you're going to be doing. When you are buying, again, so RecTech has, smokers. Green Mountain Grills has smokers. There's obviously Traeger, they have smokers. Pitballs has pellet cookers. Lone Star Grills has jumped into the foray. There's, can you guys name some other pellet grill or pellet cooker manufacturers? And I know I'm a moment or so behind in the comments. D-Dub says, what's your Mount Rushmore of pellet cookers? I don't think I have one because I feel like it would be a custom cooker built around a control unit or something along those lines. Urban culture. So Casey said, in my catering business, the pellet smoker comes in handy. Exactly. See, and that's the thing that I'm looking at it as, Casey, because the whole deal is, the pellet cookers are consistent. And you know what's crazy? I actually was in a Caribbean restaurant last week, and they were cooking with I thought it was a Southern Pride smoker, but it was a Cook Shack pellet smoker. And I was like, I'll be damned. And it was crazy because when I walked in, I'm like, oh man, this place smells great. Fantastic. When you walk into a place and you get hey, can you turn off the light in there? You done in the kitchen? Thank you. Oh, all right. I didn't know that. If you get smacked in the face with some good smells, oh, you in for a treat. I walked in and got smacked with a good smell, and I was like, dang, this place, oh, all right. And I looked, and I was like, oh my goodness, like, that's the smoker. And I turned to my wife and I said, yo, they're using a pellet cooker. She was like, I'm like, oh, I wish you could understand like how cool that is. Anyway, Nick the barbecue and car guy says, I love my Yoder. See, this is a man after my own heart. He said he's the barbecue and car guy. It would be barbecue, car, and liquor guy. That'd be me. Like I like my moonshine, so I like my cars. Yeah, car guy for sure. So Nick, have you been listening to or watching Sick Week? Have you been keeping up with Sick Week? Casey said I do the pellet grills are overpriced though. I do think pellet grills are overpriced. I'm gonna say this, and then you can be like, okay, I'll fair point. When you go into like a Sam's or a Costco, you can buy in bulk, right? Those things are more expensive because you're buying more of something. You go into a supermarket, a regular supermarket, those things are like right price, right? They're like, all right, I'm buying this, I'm buying that. It is what it is. That's the cost. But if you go into a 7-Eleven, a Wawa, a Sheetz, whatever your convenience gas station, of course, or of choice is, you're going to pay a little more, right? And you're paying for the convenience. The same holds true to pellet cookers. They're so damn convenient. Yo, turn the knob rather. set the temperature, boom, do what you got to do. You can walk away as long as you make sure that those pellets are not, or the pellets don't get low. You're golden. You're paying for the convenience. Hog said, where did he put that 90% stat from? I need to research that. Pull that 90% stat. What 90% stat? Sean said, what up? Jeremy says, I put a piece of aluminum foil on the bottom of the meat, then wrap it, butcher paper. You can lose most of the liquid through the bottom of the butcher wrap. At that point, you might as well just wrap the whole thing in foil. Girl Sergeant said, barbecue brotherhood. Indeed. Neil said, I agree with your lesson learned. Next time, definitely will use an aluminum pan. Different pits for different things. That's exactly it. Yep. Chad says, I'm sorry I didn't. Chad, are you new here? Because I don't think I've ever recognized that avatar and that name. I mean, Chad? Blind Man Cooking. What up, Dave? How you doing this evening? Urban Culture Cooker. So this is KC again. He says, I'm overall griller. I use them for all different cooking reasons. Yes, indeed. A Smoke is newer. Okay, so you know what? I saw, what can I think of this man's name? My man does the motivation. Mr. Taylor. I think it's Taylor. Is it? Dang. Why can't I think of his name? I'm drawing a blank. I'm so sorry. I swear his last name is Taylor. But he does like motivational Mondays. He's got one of those A Smoke cookers. D-Dub said a $50,000 smoker. I don't even have a $500 smoker, and I'm running a catering business. I mean, bruh, some of those the Moberg double smokers, they're easily 50 grand. 1,000 gallon, double 1,000 gallon Moberg smokers, easily 50 grand. 50 grand. KC said, yes, bro. Neil said, I have cooked a lot of good food with my smoker. One mistake or two mistakes will not make me get rid of it. Are you sure, Neil? Because, you don't want to keep messing up meat. I mean, if you want, I could teach that smoker a lesson. Like, I'll teach it a lesson. You just let me know what the address is. I'll even come and scoop it up for you. Like, I won't even charge you or, I'll come and get it for free from you. So you just let me know. Let me know, though. All right? Thanks. Please and thank you. Kevin said, I love my pellet smoker, especially if I'm experimenting. It reduces variables and allows me to concentrate on the food and not fire management. See, now there is something that I really hadn't even thought about. The only problem I find, Kevin, excuse me, is I have to keep in mind the convection aspect of the pellet cooker. In my opinion, it dries things out, or mine can dry things out. I also have a smaller pellet cooker, so some of you guys have bigger Traegers or bigger Yoders or whatever your pellet cooker might be. So you might have more airflow, and when I say more airflow, you might have more space for the air to flow, and it might not be so intense. I find that I end up having to, I try to add moisture to my cooking chamber in my Traeger. And I mean, sometimes it helps, other times it just, I'm just taking up space on the cooker. Jeremy says, nobody's looking down on anyone, man. I don't own one. I'm telling Jeremy, it's not, and I apologize if you feel like I'm attacking you specifically, but there are folks who look down on folks that have pellet cookers, and that's it's obviously, you see I'm passionate about that. It's a pet peeve, man. Like we should be helping each other, pushing each other up, building each other up. But I feel like I said, man, sometimes some of these cats out here are like, oh, you don't have, it really is oh, look at me, look how much money I spent on my cooker. Oh, you haven't, just like the person said, oh, I don't even have a $500 cooker. But my thing is, I'm like, yo, congrats, you're doing it, that's what's up. Other people are like, you don't have this, like you haven't attained that level of like worthiness to even be able to be spoken to or talk about barbecue. So that's it, man. Jeremy, like I said, I'm not trying to take it out on you, but I mean, like I said, I just feel that that is common. That is common. Jeremy said I made some badass ribs and pulled pork on a slow cooker. I mean, cool. Grumble says I have no doubt good food can be made on a pellet cooker. Some folks see the attention and offset requires as work. I see it as fun. So, Grumpus, to put that into perspective, throwing splits is something that you are prepared to do, right? I ran my catering business part time. Well, I ran it full time for a while when I was laid off and I wasn't working. So my full time job was doing barbecue. The ability to stay up all night long and cook and then still be a father and still be, around and still be, able to drive my kids, to school and pick them up from school and sell food in between and do all of those things. After a while, that got very draining. If I were to have a pellet cooker and allow me to get back to sleep, that would have been a game changer for sure. And I would have probably been able to cook more food. But because I was up all night and then up all day, usually I couldn't stay up all night again the second night. I had to go to sleep. So there are some pluses and minuses to having smokers that require way more attention. Troy said, an electric smoker got me into this thing. We do use one for about a decade. Now I got a pellet, Weber smoke fire. All right. SNS kettle and an acorn Kamado. It's the journey. You had to start somewhere. You know, it's the gateway, the gateway, I'm gonna say drug, but the gateway thing. All right. And sometimes I feel like that gateway is definitely going to be a pellet cooker, an electric cooker, for sure, because those are less expensive sometimes and they're easy. A lot of us started using Weber kettles. A lot of us transitioned into like a Weber Smoky Mountain or like a char grill, like one of those bullet smokers or something like that. I mean, however you got to this path, however you got from where you started to where you are now, doesn't matter. As long as you're still trying to barbecue stuff, as long as you're out there in the cold fighting with fires and making mistakes and learning from your mistakes and cooking good food, that's all that matters to me. All that matters to me. I cook on Hog said I cook on what I mastered. It's all about the end product. But I feel like folks don't often talk about the journey on how they got to the point where they have mastered that cooker. Like, I mean, some of you guys who have been around, y'all know I have a cooker that just that cooker and I just don't get along, man. Bernadette, man, I swear that smoker has it in for me. Every time I'm like, yeah, I got this thing licked, she like, ha ha, hold my briquettes, okay? Let me show you something. And like she just shows her tail every time. I'm like, yo, Jimmy, how you doing this evening? Jimmy, you missed it. So I have I guess this is considered, this might be a half pint. This is working on a half pint tonight. Um, my guy hooked me up with some brandy, some peach brandy, and I mean, I'm getting there. I'm limiting what it is I'm drinking tonight. So Blind Man Cooking says Z Grills. There's another one. Yes, indeed. Oh, here you go. So you know what? Jimmy is I won't say a new convert, but a new disciple in the pellet grill gang. Um, Jimmy got one recently. He was telling me, that was a couple months ago. He got one like at a deep discount, and he was like, I never thought I would have one, but then the opportunity presented itself for one to fall into my cook shack for less than 100% of cost. So he said, why not? So Jimmy said, I never thought I would like a pellet cooker until I watched my first football game while the meat cooked. Man. Hog said, gatekeepers of barbecue will always have opinions. Indeed. Neil said, no problem. I sent you my address. Oh, Neil says, no problem. I'll send you my address later. Damn. Can't, later though. You can send it to me now so you don't forget, Neil. Kevin said, ever built the cinder block pit? I really can't get any cheaper than one of those. So Kevin, you know what's funny? I thought about doing a cinder block pit a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago, I was tasked with cooking a whole hog, And when I say a whole hog, it was a 50-pound hog. But when I was looking up, like, refiguring out how I was going to cook this thing, looking up cooking methodologies, I saw someone make a cinder block pit, and I was like, man, the only problem is, I think he said you were going to need like 80 or so cinder blocks, and cinder blocks are like $3 a pop right now. At least when I looked it up. I could look it up again, but I mean, they're not like, it's not like they're $1 a piece. Um, so let's see, Lowe's. Let's see, cinder blocks, Lowe's, CIND, cinder block. Oh yeah, $2. Wait, this one says 8 by 8 inch. Oh, 8 by 8 by 16. And this is a 6 by 8 by 16. So the 8 by 8 by 16 are $2.68 a piece, so almost $3 a pop. And I swear this guy said you were going to need like 80 of them. But that could have just been how big he built his, because he had a big old hog. Neil says, all right, my friend, have a good night. We'll catch up with these. Thanks for all the good information and the feedback. I appreciate it. Yeah, Neil, don't forget, shoot me your address. Okay, I'll be right on my way. I will teach that cooker a lesson for you, a lesson or two for you. I got you, Neil. I'll take care of it for you. El Barrio, what up, man? He said, all I ever cooked on my offset smokers, all I ever cooked on are offset smokers. Sorry, but I want a pellet for convenience and proper sleep. There you go. Kevin said, once you're done with the cinder blocks, you can take it apart and store it in your shed. Yeah, man, Kevin, I won't say I have place for it, but I could find some place to store those cinder blocks. But I'll tell you what, man, by the time you spend, so let's say you need 50 of those things. 50 at $3, that's still, that is $150, right? You can buy a second-hand offset cooker for $200, and not even $200. You can find grills for free. There are also, of course, there's secondhand stuff, so Craigslist and OfferUp and whatever, Facebook Marketplace. So I mean, you could get something, but still, nonetheless. What are and anybody else have a positive experience with pellet cookers? Pellet, I say pellet grills in the title, but pellet cookers, period. Oops, and then my belt. Jimmy, what you drinking? Anybody else? What else is everybody else drinking this evening? Kevin. So Kevin said, once you're done with the cinder blocks, you can take it apart, store it in your shed. He said that's how he became obsessed with barbecue. You buying used stuff or using cinder blocks? Why are they called cinder blocks? Never looked that up. Cinder blocks are they? No. Oh. Grumpus said he's drinking Buffalo Trace neat. All right. Jeremy says he's got a Captain and Coke. All right. What else is everybody else drinking? Okay, so here we go. In the early 1900s, coal-fired plants created a byproduct called cinder. Francis Straub discovered that these cinders were cementellous? I guess it's cementous, or had the property of cement. He started adding cinder and reducing the amount of cement in his concrete block mix until he finally patented his material mix for the cinder block. There we go. I know I can't be the only one that goes down rabbit holes like this. Like, why is it called that randomly? Jeremy says I started using the pellet grill in 2019, and the family loves it. Or excuse me, I said Jeremy because Jeremy was right above. Jerome Thomas Jr. said that he started using the pellet grill in 2019, and the family loves it. That's what's up. Uh, Jeremy said it's my birthday, so I sprung for a real Captain and Coke. That's what's up. Well, can we, happy birthday, Jeremy? Um, Angela, what's going on? My cousin Angela is here. Grumpus says Rodney Scott can teach something about cinder block cookers. Indeed. I'm gonna say I have the opportunity, but I'm contemplating. I'm gonna be going south next weekend, and I'm gonna be driving, and I contemplated trying to see if I could figure out how to get to Rodney Scott's or Scott's barbecue. Kevin said I got my first trigger right before COVID and went absolutely nuts since we couldn't go out. I can imagine. Dave, I know you watching Sick Week. D Dub says Sunny Delight, neat. Ooh, Sunny Delight, man. It's funny. My man's name is D Dub and he's drinking Sunny D. Nah, no coincidence there. Jerome. So I feel like I missed my opportunity the first time with the I feel like I want to be like Jerome ain't Rome in the house, and I'm sure you've never heard that before. What up, my homie Taj? Taj, good brother, how you doing this evening? Taj says happy born day, Jeremy. Taj, Taj didn't even say hi. Like, what up, homie? Hey, what's going on? Hey, yo, no nothing. He just went straight into wishing other folks happy birthday. It's cool, Taj. I know we got like 20 plus years. I ain't tripping. Uh, Jeremy says thanks everyone. Yes. Yeah. Dave said yes, sir. Dude, why can Tom Bailey not ever finish any of his events? Like I didn't see whether or not he decided um to I'm gonna say pony up, but to change out the transmission, swap the transmission, and run his car. Like, but I feel like he has a very valid point. He's like, what do I have to prove? He's like, what do I have to prove? He's like, I, excuse me, I've been 5 seconds. I've won one of these events before. Like, he's like, I really come to hang out and see other people do good things. Like, what do I have to do? He said his goals was he wanted a 5 second average for the entire week. Yo, can you imagine a 5 second average on 4 different tracks? What? And drive the car? Yo, crazy. So he said basically he got a low six. What he got? 624 day one, and then he turned in a 10 and some change day two. So he's like, after day two, I can't even get my 5 second average because that's just out the way. So he's like, what do I have to prove? So he's like, I might just, he's like, I might pack it up and just be an observer, fix the car and bring it back to OSW and run it then. Like, I kind of agree with him. Like, man, you don't have anything to prove. Jimmy says he met Rodney in Manning at the family store. That's what's up. Grandpa said make the trip so you can name drop. Name drop on who? Like me? I mean, what? I can name drop. I don't go anywhere without wearing something that says Still Doing Smokers on it. So I just want to walk into a barbecue place one day and someone in the counter know who I am. That's an achievement. When I get that, I'm gonna be like achievement unlocked. Ty's like, I just hopped on my homie's born day, so yeah, I get you. I'm saying it's cool. I ain't crying. I ain't crying. Kevin says the trigger was my getaway pit before I got my reverse flow smoker trailer. That's what's up. So I'll never badmouth a pellet cooker. That's what's up. Look, look, we all have our the sentimental cookers. Like I have plenty of sentimental cookers. Like my big green egg was a gift. The trigger was a gift from my wife. The Charlotte, that one that cooker I bought on sale, okay, because I bought it used. I'm trying to think what it was. I think it was when I went to one of the SEA events, the State Cook-Off Association events, and I saw people cooking on the Weber kettles, and I'm like, damn, these cats are like, they burning on these kettles. And oh yes, it was when we went to the SEA event. I went with Dadcraft Barbecue, and we I want to say towed, but he put his Weber Deluxe with the table on his truck, and we drove it up to Pennsylvania where we went to the event. And I was like, man, I gotta get me one of these things. And I looked on Craigslist, found one, but when I found it, it didn't come with the hardware. It seems like the person who put it together, um, wow. Jimmy says, we need a bumper sticker that says "I know Dash." Damn, Jimmy, that is that is genius. I might have to talk to my guy. That is genius. Oh man. Look, let's open up a notepad so I don't forget. NOTEPAD. I know Dash. It would be helpful if I spelled my own nickname right. Bumper. CKR. Yes. And I'm going to leave that up. That's what's up, man. That is freaking brilliant. Grumpa says they know who I am. I gave him a pen. Yeah. Grumpa says I've been there. I'm like, Lim? What is Lim? Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. That's Jimmy, because Jim is here also. You have to, you know, hell yeah. Hashtag SDSBBQ. For sure. For sure. Look, yeah, I don't say you know, you ain't got to say it but once for me. I already know. Look, I left, I went today, this afternoon. Taste tester number one, the valve stem on his passenger front tire. He was putting air in the tire and the valve stem broke. So I'm like, all right. So he called me and I went to the gas station where he was, helped him change the tire, put on the spare, right? So I went to, I have a tire guy, right? My tire guy's name is Oscar. He's got a little used tire spot. Yep. Every time I need something, hey, I need a patch, I need a plug, I need some used tires. I go see my man Oscar, right? So, you know, I frequented used tires because my Jetta was lowered. And I'm like, yo, the car's lowered, it's gonna eat through tires. I'm not going to spend $250, $300 per tire on a car for it to, go through tires uh, not even a year. I'm like, no. So I will buy used tires. So I got a guy. And then anytime I had an issue with the tire, I'd go see my guy, right? So, uh, I've been following Oscar for years. So when my son got his car, I'm like, I'm not putting brand new tires on his car. I know better than that, just because I know what could happen to a child in their first car. It's just, I'm not wishing it, but I know what could happen. Ask me how I know. So I'm like, all right, you know what? We're gonna go get some used tires. So I went and got used tires for his car, and I went saw Oscar. Oscar, I need 4 tires. So, you know, Oscar gave me 4 tires. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna say we've been having issues, but he got a flat. All right, no problem. That actually, I plugged that one, no problem. And then he was low on air in one tire, and he went to put air in the tire, and the valve stem broke. Okay, well, that's not something that we can actually fix easily. So I went and helped him change the tire. We brought the car home, and I said to him today, I'm like, hey, because this happened on Sunday night. I said, hey, Was it Sunday night? Anyway, maybe Saturday night. So I'm like, all right, do you have to work today? He said, no. I said, all right, come on, let's go. Let's go see Oscar. So we go see Oscar. Oscar, they take the tire out. They take the tire out of the trunk for you. They take the tire inside. He's like, oh, the valve stem, it was the TPMS, one of the TPMS valve stems. He's like, oh, the TPMS, he's like, it's a really old one. I'm just gonna put a regular valve stem on it. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. And put the tire back on the car, put all the caps back on the car, put the spare back into the trunk. Yo, and I had some waters. I had some waters. And I said, Oscar, quiere agua? He's like, yeah. So here's some waters, right? Half a case of waters. Here's some waters. But when I go see Oscar, the joke is now, where's my beer? Right? Because one of the times I went to see Oscar, Oscar he was busy, and he's like, hey man, you want a cerveza? And I'm like, yeah. Who says no to a beer? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Is it cold and is it free? It's for me. So now every time I go see Oscar, I'm like, Oscar, where's my beer? Can I go get a beer? He's got a fridge in like the little office area, and I go get a beer every time. Yeah. So yes. Yeah. Jeremy says he wants a pen, Grumpus. Yes, his email address is on his page. Jimmy says, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up. Yes, indeed. Angela, you missed Bumpy. He was here and is gone. We talked to him. Some of us were on, here in a timely fashion, and others were not. Nah, so, but yeah, Bumpy was here just for a couple of minutes. He came and checked in. He said, obviously I'll be watching a little later. I gotta put a kid to bed. Oh, you. I remember those days. Now it's like, go to bed, go to bed. Look, I think. Taste hustle number 3. All right. I didn't know who was still over there. Taste hustle number 2 still over there. That's your cousin with the big hair. I guess he's your cousin once removed. Did we figure it out? Is that what we determined that was? Yeah. What up, Russ? How you doing this evening, Russ? Hey, listen, if you have not already, as Jimmy said, if you have not already hit that thumbs up button for me, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could. Angela says, yes, once removed. Jeremy says, I have to give a bass lesson at 10. Yeah, shoot. Mark said, hi, Dash. Left a like. Well, thank you very much. Norm, yo, we got the stool. Norm Peterson's bar stool said thumbs up hit. Well, I like that in you. And I know your name. Like, I guess it would be Norm's Barstool. That would be the name. That would be your name. Because, I grew up not really watching Cheers, but I won't say a byproduct, but it was like, how do I explain that? It wasn't something I watched, but it was something I was aware of. How about that? So I was aware that when you go to Cheers, everybody knows your name. But is your name, like, do you have a name? Or are you only, like, I won't say only, but are you reduced to being Norm's Barstool? I would hope you have your own name. Jeremy said, I still listen and know. That's what's up. I will still listen and know. That's what's up. Appreciate it. Okay, so tonight, Jeremy, if you could, one of my favorite songs is 25 to 6 or 7? 25 to 6 or 7? Because when I went and bought my son's first bass, the gentleman in the store, he took the bass and he played that song for me. in the store. So it like every single time I remember buying Taste Tester number one's First Base. So that was one of the songs that I learned how to play. Like myself, I learned how to play. Can I still play it? No, but I learned how to play it. Or at least obviously the ding 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 ding, and you know that thing. Anyway, Russ and Ange, you're right. Rihanna won the Super Bowl. Sure enough, did. Angela said she was the only one who flew that night. Hey Angela, you know what's crazy? B called me. He was like, cuz, y'all, I'm calling to check on you. Yeah, and we talked for a little while, but I won't say, it takes a lot for B to give me a call. So, but he called anyway. We're not talking about that though. We're talking about pellet cookers. You know, Angela, I think you need to get yourself a pellet cooker. I think it would be good for you, though you don't do very much barbecue. The fish that I think you could cook on a pellet cooker, and I mean, aside from, some salmon, some snapper. Ooh, man, I did some red snapper on 25 or 6 to 4. Thank you, thank you. That is. Yep. I know I'm not doing it justice, but yes, by Chicago, correct. Uh, he said that's funny. He was concerned for your well being. So this is another one of my cousins, that Angela and I are talking about. He lives in the area. He kind of lives halfway in between where she lives and I live. Um, I don't say equidistant, but distance wise. Um, yes, Jimmy says Chicago. Russ said no doubt it was we're not talking about it. um He said that was a great game. I wonder how many pellet cookers were in the parking lot. So you know what's funny? I've realized, not realized, but I do run my pellet cooker on my generator from time to time, um, just to kind of run the generator and to keep it exercised. Speaking of which, I actually need to change the oil on the generator, so I'll be doing that soon. I have had to run the generator a few times as of late, and it has come in handy, handy dandy. That generator has been. Chicago 2, great album and great Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah. I have a pellet fire pit if that counts, but I won't cook on it. You probably can. You probably can set up some sort of something on it. Maybe. Norm Peterson's Barstool says, gotta go to work. We'll watch the replay. Have a great night, everyone. Hey, replay gang, I thank you. Uh, oh, he's in there. I thought he was in there. Taste tester number 2. You in the. Man. Where'd your sister go?
She went upstairs. Mommy's upstairs.
I didn't see her walk past me. Well, she left the light on in the kitchen. Are you headed up now? No. Y'all should see this dude's hair. Y'all want to see his hair? Can you turn out the light in there too?
Oh.
I mean, why y'all leave these lights on? Look at this.
You want me to show my hair?
Yeah. That's just because you're randomly here. Look at all this hair. Looks like Carrot Top. All right. Good night. Okay. Thank you. Are you going to bed now?
No, I still have. I'm doing no cuts for ET.
Oh, okay. Angela said, what did Norm do for a living? The other dude was a postal worker. I thought, shoot, I was about to say, I thought Norm was the postal worker. I remember somebody was a postal worker. Ricer says, howdy, Dash. What's up, Ricer? Actually, I shouted you out. Not shouted you out. I was talking about you to one of my, it's a friend of mine, childhood friend. We went to elementary school, and she now lives around the corner from me. She lives around the corner with her girlfriend, but it's around the corner from me. and I was talking to them about you, right, sir? Because she was talking about how she was going to be possibly getting a new pellet cooker, and she mentioned Lone Star Girl's pellet cooker, and I was like, oh man, I know a guy. Like this guy's got one. You should check out his channel. So I'll make sure I send her that information um, later. She actually, my friend texted me right as I was starting the live stream, so I will send her that information. Jeremy says we are working on Tom Sawyer. Okay. Angela says, "Oh, your twin. Hey, baby boy." Angela said, "What's up?" Norm came in wearing a suit. I don't know. Norm was an accountant. Jimmy says. All right, Russ. What up? What up? Thanks. So, pellet grills are a great cooker for people that want to start cooking barbecue and they are afraid to have to learn how to manage the fire. Agreed. Agreed. No problem. Hey, Ricer, man. I'm gonna say I talk about you more than you know. Like I do when it comes to uh people when people ask me about different cookers, I'm like, I don't have that type of cooker, or I don't know about that specific cooker, but I know a guy, and you are in the top three people who I normally recommend. Just depending on what type of cooker they're looking for. Dave said, "Hit that thumbs up." Yes, please and thank you. I say it all the time. It really does make me feel better about doing these videos. It makes me feel better, in general, and it does help my channel and it does help these videos. So please, please, please. Um, Reister said, "My LSG truly is the best pellet grill I have ever ran." That is what's up. Angela said, "I'm terrified of starting a fire." It kind of comes with the territory, Angela. It's one of those things. If you want to make an omelet, you gotta crack some eggs. You want to cook some fantastic barbecue, you have to like tightrope that line, or that tightrope that line basically on starting a fire. But I say this all the time. I am not a pit master. I am not a anything. I am an arsonist who cooks. Okay, I like starting fires, and starting fires is just all part. It's just the a means to an end. Spencer Crowley said, "I like the idea of a pellet smoker, but I love my Acorn Kamado more." So, here's something that I get, I won't say ask all the time. Yo, I can tell you, I have um, I won't say a little bit of a complex from people who give me grief about saying ask. I can't even say it incorrectly anymore because I have strived I strive to say it correctly. People ask me all the time about why I cook on what I'm cooking on. And the thing that I have in spades is cookers. Um, and I have a plethora of cookers, and I have cookers that I do specific things on. So when people talk about their Kamados, right? A Kamado being like the big green egg or the acorn, something specific, and they say or tell me about how they're doing great things on a Kamado, and I'm like, yeah, you're doing great things on a Kamado because you don't have insert this type of smoker. I know Bumpy is going to hit me up. He's going to be chomping at the bit to hit me up on a replay. I know Lou. Where's Lou? Where's Lou? Because Lou Calamatas, he's got himself a acorn or a Kamado that he uses. But I'm telling you, the Kamado, like if I had a Kamado and if I had the ability to get a Kamado, um, uh, why can't I think? Oh man, it's a Primo. Primo is the brand. Kamado Primo Grills, I think it is, but it's there's an account on Instagram, and it's somebody in Maribel. Why can't I think of his name? Oh, somebody help me out. Um, but I've been following them like since day one, darn near, while I've been on Instagram, and they have been doing the biggest things on their Kamado. Like they have a Primo Kamado. Benji, what's going on? He says, "Hello, everyone. Playing with fire is the fun stuff." Yes. Angela said, "I remember, and the Baltimore Fire Department probably remembers too." Yes, I am an arsonist. Angela said, "I got teased about as versus ask, so I make a conscious effort to put the K. There were drastic changes the way you say the A." Yes, indeed. Oh my gosh. Um, so I still say library. All right, that's just not something that I will change. It is a library, okay, and it is a fantastic book flavored library. Because whenever I say library, one of my coworkers always asks me, "What does a library taste like?" It tastes like books, okay. Libraries taste like books. Water, y'all know, the only way to say water is water, okay. Y'all can give me whatever grief you want to, but ask, okay, is one of the things that I like. I ask a question as opposed to axing, okay? I used to ask a question, okay? Ask a question. So I had a coworker, he was like, "What are you asking me about? Why are you asking me anything?" He said, "Now, if you ask me something, then I can answer it. But if you ask me something, ask something of me, I can't help you." He said, "Because you asking me versus asking me." And just like you, I make a conscious effort to say ask. And there's a big difference between asking and axing. Yes, every time axing, okay? Because that's what he did every time. How it burned into my memory. Russ said, let me ask you." Wait, I'm gonna read this verbatim. He said, "Let me ask you, do you use an ask to chop wood?" Pretty much. Well, no, I have a log splitter nowadays. Conrad said, "I have a couple buddies that purchased pellet grills. They could hardly make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich prior, and now are smoking ribs and briskets. Not my thing, but I'm happy for them." Conrad, why is it not your thing? Angela said, just like I hate Texas people when they're trying to say Texas." Texas, not texts. I tell you, taste tester number two will tell you I get on him about certain words, and I correct the three of them, all three of my taste testers, because I want them to speak. Uh, I'll say better than Baltimore, but I want them to speak better than Baltimore. Um, Benji says, "My company fixes Traeger's, Pit Boss, and Louisiana's. They break if you don't take care of them. Cheap Chinese control boards. Learn to fix it yourself." Yeah, Angela said, you have me intrigued about this pellet grill. Dude, I'm telling you, Angela, you could get an inexpensive Traeger. It might, because it's just you and your little one, you might be able to get one for under $500. And honestly enough, I can tell you, you probably could go to Walmart and get a Pit Boss is the name of the cooker. You can get a Pit Boss cooker, and I mean literally, you turn it on, wait for it to, like, you'll hear it change sound, and then you put your food on, set the temperature, and boom, it'll be less than $500. Calm your nerves, cool your jets. Um, let's see. Dingle says, "I got the Trigger Pro 22 and loved it. Was my first barbecue past the charcoal grill. I sold it when I moved, and my next barbecue will be a stick burner offset." So I still have my Pro 22. Okay, that is the one I'm using. Let's see, can continually as far as pellet cookers go. Oh, excuse me. That is the one that I said that my wife gifted me, and I am completely fine with it. Jeremy says, "Man, getting the kindling cracker was a game changer for me." What is the kindling cracker? Is that like one of the? You know what? Let's just look it up. Kindling cracker. Yep, I thought that's what this was. So it's like a reverse axe. You just put your split on it and just smack it right down on this thing. I mean, $75 off of Amazon. That looks pretty good. I have a log splitter, so buddy, I'm cool with that. PPDX says Yoda 1500S is what I have. I do like it a lot. I like the ability to sleep through the night. I'm old. Look, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. Um, he said, oddly, it has helped to push me in the direction of a stick burner offset. Yep. PPDX says, I really do love the build quality of my Yoder, though. So there's one thing I'll tell you, and I'll give Yoder, I don't say credit, but I will say I have cooked on 2 different Yoder smokers. One was Alton's Yoder when I went to Texas in 2020. And the other was Al from Eat More Vegans Barbecue, or Eat More Vegans Carnivore Barbecue. When I went down to his house in, I guess it was early 2022. We cooked on his Yoder. I think his Yoder's name was Yoda. And they're really good in comparison to my Traeger. Now, mind you, I only have a sampling size of 1 because my Traeger is a Pro 22, which is an older model, and it's also a smaller model. And I talked about it earlier how the smaller models, in my opinion, because they're so they're condensed, I think the convection is exaggerated. If that cooker was a little bit bigger, like if it was one of those Timberline, I think it's Timberline is their next generation, it wouldn't be so not prevalent, but it wouldn't be so much like on the forefront. And I really feel like because it's smaller, the convection is like multiplied exponentially, versus when it's a bigger cooker, like a bigger cooking space, the convection is not so prominent or profound, actually, probably. Spencer said, I'd almost be interested in a gravity-fed charcoal cooker like the Masterbuilt or Char Griller, but the hopper has some issues too. I'm telling you, Spencer, I said this earlier. Every cooker is going to have some pros and some cons. It's just you have to figure out what you're going to be wanting to deal with. Jeremy says, I got mine at a consignment store, 2 for $25. Damn. Spencer says, and +1 on that kindling cracker helps get my splits down on my OKJ on his Oklahoma Joe. Ricer, thanks, Ricer says, yes, the Timberline XL is now their biggest, but way overpriced. You know, if there's one thing that Ricer is good for, it is telling the truth. Okay, and videos. He's good for videos too. But telling the truth. And yo, hold on, Ricer. You know what's funny? Hold on. Okay. You see my Beaver, my distiller? Yo, I use that thing 2 or 3 times a week, and actually, I use it for distilling water for my ice maker. I do use it for that, but there are some times where you buy something cheap and you make it better. That's all. Just buy some cheap stuff, make it better. Yeah. PPDX said PPDX. I feel like there's, I'll say, a joke or there's something that I'm missing there in that username. He says I also have their flat top grill and also wood with that. It's a way to get my live fire fix. Okay. Comrade said I'm all about ease. I have a BBQ and a gravity fed smoker. I just can't wrap my head around using pellets. Just personal preference, really. I'm telling you, man, get over it. Get over it. pellets provide so much convenience and so much flavor for what they are. Um, are there cookers out there that have more flavor? Yes. Are there cookers out there that have more convenience? Aside from electric or propane? No. No. Those gravity fed smokers are cool, but they still, they require a little level of attention. Jeremy says, all my stuff comes split in season. My son is an arborist, so I get all kinds of woods, and having that thing lets me take out some aggression and get a perfect size splits for what I need. Jeremy, can I just say that you have hit the lottery when it comes to getting wood. You have an arborist as a son, and I'm sure he's like, "Hey, Dad, I just so happen to get this cherry wood. You can have it, and I'll split it for you because of course, you're my dad." Like, yeah, yo, if one of my sons became an arborist, or even my daughter became an arborist, but still my heart, okay? Let me just tell you, I have gotten much better at identifying the woods that I have from splitting it. I know what mulberry looks like from splitting it. I know what cherry looks like from splitting it. I know what mulberry looks like from the bark. I know what cherry looks like from the bark. Well, I have a pile of mulberry and cherry, and I can tell which is mulberry and which is cherry. So I have been splitting more of the cherry for the naked cook portion of my cook, and I split more of the mulberry for the wrapped portion of my cook. I don't particularly care for the mulberry. It is a good burning wood, but it is a dirty burning wood. And I feel like it's just one of those things. In my area, and Jeremy, where are you geographically? In my area, I, uh, we have a lot of oak. So, and it's so funny. Like, people are like, "Oh, you oak? What kind of oak?" Like, I have post oak, I have red oak, I have white oak, I have this oak, I have that oak. There are like 39,000 different types of oak trees. Okay, in my area, what's most prevalent is white oak, and because there's the um, just a word I'm looking for, but because we have so much white oak, no one calls it by the proper name. It's just oak. Oh, you got some oak mixed in there. Every now and again, I might see some red oak, but for the most part, it's white oak is what I've determined. White oak, mulberry, and cherry are like top three. Then I have some walnut every now and again. I'll get, and apple is also pretty prevalent in my area. Um, yeah, Ricer. Yep. He said, "How the only way I can do a review with honesty, if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to watch or do a video." Yeah. Benji says, "Get the cheapest pellet grill you can and buy it. That's the size you need. Buy your separate Bluetooth thermometers." Indeed. I totally agree. Ricer said, "I am not really a brand guy, so I can find things I like about all kinds of pits, and also things they need to change." See, and that's the crux, right? Because, like I said, I can tell from others' videos, man, this is a good one. This is not a good one. Oh man, this is good. This is not good. Um, it's just one of those things, man. Angela said, "I have a whole yard full of trees that anyone can feel free to come and chop down." Nope. Waylon Works says, "I really like my pit bosses. I start cooks on my offset, then finish on the pellet." Nice. Using my Thermal Pro to monitor temps, he said it has made a huge difference. Benji said, "Mulberry is good for quick cooks on pork." If you say so. It's just not my favorite, man. It's just not my favorite. When you move them when you wrap. Yeah. So he probably does that as opposed like me. I wrap different things and I bring them inside the house and put them in the oven, as opposed to putting them in the oven in his kitchen. He probably just puts them on the pellet, which will do the same thing. But in my opinion, I would find it. I won't say find it better, but I would think it would be better to put them into an electric smoker first, a pellet smoker second, or excuse me, not pellet, electric smoker first, a propane smoker second, and then a pellet smoker. Because of the whole thing is the pellets are actually going to help impart flavor. Now the only caveat to that is if you are using butcher paper as opposed to like aluminum foil pans or aluminum foil, because then it might actually be doing something for you, especially with maintaining and being able to set the temperature. Waylon says I have videos on my channel. I see what you did there. Rice just said, great way to do it, Waylon. I guess that offset flavor and then finish them off the easy way. Hell yeah. I'm trying to learn more about catering. What is it you would like to know? Mark says, I get a lot of maple. Mark, who's in the Great White North, he says he gets a lot of maple. Wow. Jeremy says, I'm 15 miles north, 15 miles north of Notre Dame. All right, so is that Indiana? That's Indiana, right? I've driven past Notre Dame or driven past signs for Notre Dame. Do you know Rudy? Do you know Rudy? Russ said I almost got in trouble at work today for not attending a 8 o'clock meeting that I wasn't invited to. Jeremy says lots of cherry, red oak, white oak, apple, and hickory. Really, hickory up there? Man, I know that hickory is a thing down in North Carolina. Hickory, like there's a Hickory, North Carolina, Michigan. Okay, well, Indiana, Michigan. Is Notre Dame in Michigan or is Notre Dame in Indiana? Like I said, I drove past signs for Indiana for Notre Dame when I was in Indiana. Granted, I was on my way. Yeah, right. Grandpa says Hickory. You can't like them folks from Hickory, North Carolina. Only yeah. What was that guy's name who was from Hickory, North Carolina? He was a comedian. So Waylon, all right. So give me 1 second. Uh, yeah, I was on the toll road, whatever that toll road was, basically between Ohio and Illinois. I was headed to Chicago. Um, Russ said the only wood I get is free. Hell yeah, man, I'm with it. Uh, do you shaving dishes to cater? Angela, really? Really? Anyway, yes and no. So I use the wire racks and like warmers. I don't have chafing dishes because I don't always stay at my catering events. If there is an event that I'm going to stay and be present to serve, then I would probably use a more professional permanent chafing dish setup. But majority, and when I say majority, probably 95% of my cooks and my events, I am setting up the warmers, the racks, the warmers, and food, and I'm out. I do not stay. Usually, the reason I don't stay is because when I stay, I bill them for me being on site to serve, and some people don't want to pay for that. Jeremy says hickory gives a nice smoke. If you say so. I'm not a fan, man. A little too much smoke for me. Uh, Rice just said in my area we kind of spoiled. We have white oak, red oak, hickory, and maple. Some cherry, but not a lot. Yeah. Uh, Russ said John Reap. Jeremy says 80, 90. Oh, I guess that's uh the route or interstate. Hogs is going down to Ohio. Sure. Waylon says I like pecan. That's pecan, okay? Pecan. Jeremy says we have maple also, but I don't use it much unless it's sugar maple. What up, Johnny? He says, Dash. Hello, everyone. See, Taj, where are you? Taj, see how Taj? Did you notice how Johnny said hi to me, then said hi to everyone else? Even even if we were talking about Jeremy, it was Jeremy's birthday, so Johnny, Ricer, Waylon, Hog, all right, Russ. If you haven't already, please wish Jeremy a happy birthday. All right, since y'all don't talk to me, y'all can wish him a happy birthday, but don't wish him a happy birthday before you talk to me. Um, Conrad said, I just learned not too long ago that hickory has several different versions itself. Not as many as oak, but there are different versions. I guess you would, not really versions, but types. Types is more probably. They have aluminum chafing dishes that you can get just for starting out, and that you won't feel bad if you need to leave and have them disposed. I just remember to charge them. I'll just remember to charge them for it. See, here's the thing, and this is one of the things that it's hard for me to convey. People don't want to pay extra stuff for extra stuff. Oh wait, that's not very hard for me to convey. People be cheap. Main point. People are cheap. If I'm like, and it's an investment to buy the chafing dishes necessary to not use the temporary stuff. And the reason why I haven't made that investment is because for the 3 to 5 events that I do, maybe 6 events that I do a year that I stay at and don't just set up, drop the food off, and keep moving. It's not worth it for me for the extra hassle of taking the chafing dishes to, taking the shaving dishes from, and then cleaning up. And here's one thing that a lot of people don't think about: the storage of those chafing dishes in between. I actually got some chafing dishes. Like, I think I have 2 sets or like three, not sets, but like 3 setups. I think I have 3 or 4 setups, chafing dishes. And these things take up space, man. They're in my garage right now, and they're like tucked away in the back of the garage because I'm like, they're in the way. It's like they get dusty until I use them, and then when I use them, I gotta wash them, and then I gotta take them to the event, tote them to the event, use them in the event, set up the event, and then wash them once I'm done, for them to only need to be washed again before when I use them. Now, if it was a thing where I'm using shaving dishes 2 or 3 times a week, yeah, I'm sure that would make way more fiscal sense. But because of the fact that I'm not, it makes way more fiscal sense to just buy the racks and to buy the pans. Those racks though are getting stupid expensive. For a pair, for two, they're like $6 or $7 for those racks. Do I charge? Have I started to charge more accordingly? Yes, I have. Russ said, born 1972, age 50, Hickory, North Carolina. Oh, John Reap. There we go. Thank you. Now that makes more sense. I didn't realize he was that old. Damn. Thank you. That makes way more sense. He's Jimmy, not Jeremy. But Waylon said, that's what I was considering. Disposable chafing dishes are available, but I have had where local places just give you the food hot and wish you luck. How do we confident they won't let it spoil? You set all that stuff up. I mean, really. So there's 3 levels, right? When it comes to dropping off food. There is like, I'm gonna take the foil pans and I'm like leaving stuff on the counter, and you are going to have to talk them through or put it into the oven or do whatever to make sure that food gets warmed back up. And I'm sorry, I might need some more ice. Yeah, I need some more ice. Give me a second. Yep. All right, so the first bit is I'm going to drop food off, and like I said, I'm taking food, I'm going to lay it out on the counter, I'm going to write the instructions on how to reheat this on top of the pan. I'm going to give you your jus if it's brisket, your jus if it's lamb, and then tell you what temperature to put that back into the oven. Pour that jus over top of the brisket. pour that jus over top of the lamb, wrap everything up tightly in the foil and in that aluminum pan that I provide for you. And then once you're ready to serve it, you pull it out, you lay it on the counter, you boom, boom, boom. Everybody has what they need. Get this stuff out of the pan, put it into some plastic bags or whatever, container or vessel you're gonna put into the refrigerator. Pull whatever out as you see fit, as you need, and you can microwave or pan, use a saute pan to warm things up as necessary, all right, for leftovers. First thing. Second thing is going to be they have paid me to set up and to deliver and a setup, okay? Different charges. There's a delivery charge and there's a delivery and setup, okay? The setup is going to be, I'm going to set up the warmers, set up the racks, the warmers, the extra pans. I don't usually provide serving utensils because everybody's different. I'm sure that's something that I could charge and make a couple extra dollars on, but for right now, usually I do not set up the utensils. So the racks, the warmers, and setting everything up, boom, 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 nice and neat. Leave a couple cards, a strewn, and then I'm out, right? Then the third one is going to be when I actually stay. So I set up the warmers, I set up the racks, I set up the warmers. I usually, if I'm staying, I'm going to bring serving utensils, okay, and I will help serve. And when I'm helping to serve, that's when I might ask my wife to come help me. I might ask my cousin to come help. The last event I did a few weeks ago, I have I have a group of 4 folks. My buddy Roger, we've seen, you guys have seen Roger in videos before. My one of my friends, his now wife, and one of her best friends comes, and then I have another lady who is a parent that we met when Taste Tester number 1 was in elementary school. In this specific elementary school, she had a son in the same class with Taste Tester number 1. So we've become, family friends and just remain friends for 10 years, actually, more than 10 years. So those are my go-to folks when I'm for that particular event, because that was the event where I'm like, hey, can you help me out? So they've done this event for me. This was the 3rd time they've done this event for me. Also, now that my taste testers are getting older, taste tester number 3 has gone with me on events and has crushed it. Taste tester number 2 has gone on events with me and has crushed it. Taste tester number 1 has gone on events with me or 2 events with me and it has crushed it. They all have each one of them has their this type of event. It'll taste tester number 2. I'm gonna need you to come with me on Saturday. This type of event, hey, taste tester number 3, I think you'll fit in. You're gonna go with me on this Saturday. Taste tester number 1, I'm at the point where I'm working around his work schedule. So there are times when sometimes he helps me out here in the house. Same thing with taste tester number 2. He's willing to help me cook. He wants to help me cook because he knows that I'll give him a couple dollars. Russ said happy birthday. Gary Lester says being a chaotic day, so only pop in for a few minutes. Just wanted to say thank you for everything that you do. No problem, Gary. Rice said happy birthday. I'm so behind. Jeremy says you have to know how to use hickory. You can over smoke with hickory. I give hickory smoke waves, if you know what I mean. I do. Waylon said happy birthday. Johnny said it's not my birthday. It's not your birthday, but it is Jeremy's birthday. Johnny. Gary says I live in Hickory, North Carolina for 28 years. You Red Oak then worked wonderful. Yeah. Angela said it'd be a setup fee for the disposable chafing dishes. They're like $50 on Amazon for 3 to 5 of them, and the gels. Dude, let me tell you, I used to get those the double racks. The double racks used to be like $3 to $5. They are almost $8 now. Almost $8. The last event that I did, that it was a 400 person event. I have, I think I got 20 racks. No, I got 8 pairs, so 16. And I know I had a few floating around the house, so I bought 16. Best believe I took every single one of them racks back home with me, and I will use them throughout the year. They don't go bad, but they were charged for them. And hey, I'm gonna say a lot of times, but there are times when, um, excuse me, I'll do an event, and then the person at the event will say, "Hey, we have these racks left over. Do you want me to throw them away, or can you reuse them?" I can reuse them, and I will come back to get them. Because a lot of times it's worth my money. Especially if the place is close, I will come back and get them, or I will reuse them. You know what? I'm like, hey, if you have the space, save them for next time I'm there. And they're like, oh yeah, hell yeah. Do I bring racks in case? Yes. Do I want them to use the racks that they had from the last time? Yes. Okay. Yes. So I did an event for Christmas and or around Christmas, and the owner, the wife, there's a husband and wife team. The wife was like, "Oh, I'm pulling the racks out of the trunk of my car," and she said, "Oh, I have the racks from last year." I'm like, "Bet, yes." I don't have to spend it. I'm like, cha-ching, saving money, cha-ching, saving money. So yes, Victor, you missed it. I took a shot for you earlier. Or I took a sip. It wasn't a shot, but I will take another for you, sir. Get well soon. Salud. Oh, this is peach brandy, by the way. Hmm. It would be better. And by better, it would be not harsh, but I mean, it's a high proof spirit. So it's hot. It's hot. I'm gonna pour this energy drink into here. And I'm gonna go get some ice. I'm gonna try to catch up on the comments real quick. So let me see. Let's get 20 likes, Jeremy says. Thank you. Angela said aluminum, just throw them things away. Keep the long pans as you can reuse them for a while. It depends, Angela. Some of those pans, I'm telling you, yeah. Angela says the Rex come on the set on Amazon. Yes, the sets that you can get on Amazon are nice, but they are more expensive than going to Costco or Sam's and buying the sets outright from them. Again, remember I was talking about convenience. You pay for convenience. Marlon's our first love says, "Hey, yo, Dash, what's up, Marlon? Hopefully all of your family, everybody's doing better." Hog says, "I live in a pecan grove in Georgia. Pruning and storms keep me supplied." Say that to say people use what's available in the area. That's exactly it, Hog. I've been saying that for a long time. People always say, "Well, what kind of wood do you use?" I use what's readily available, what's geographically available in my area. What's geographically available in my area? Oak, locust, no, oak, mulberry, cherry, apple. Those are the top four. Occasionally, I'll get some maple. Okay, but for the most part, oak is number one. Apple or mulberry and cherry are like tied for number two. I'll get applewood and every now and again I might get some peach. Okay, every now and again I might get some plum wood. Every now and again I'll get some maple. But those the oak primary, the mulberry and the cherry are like tied for number two. Those seem to be the offshoots, if you will, of what I get most. And it's crazy. Like I didn't realize how much cherry wood. Now, mind you, the cherry that I'm getting is not a fruit bearing cherry. It's the 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 uh the yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. It's the like not floral, but it's the one that oh, the cherry blossom. Okay, that's the cherry that I get. The cherry blossom tree, not necessarily the cherry fruit tree. So cherry blossom, but no one says, "Oh, this is cherry blossom." No, it's just cherry. But most people, when you hear cherry, you're like, oh, you're using the cherry fruit tree. Nope, the cherry blossom tree. Victor says, oops, I'm out of surgery. Everything went well. Spending the night in the hospital, but all good. Good night. Well, that's what's up. Thank you, Victor, for the update. Glad to hear that it wasn't worse than it was. Jimmy says, turn the pans upside down until you use them, then throw them away when you use them. Yes, Jimmy. Oh man, Jimmy. I won't say he's preaching to the choir. I use my pans. I put my pans. I have them on the shelf, and they are upside down. When I do different things in my house, the catering aspect rubs off on the things that I do. We got some paper plates. I have some paper plates left over again from that event I did. And when I set them out on the counter for my family to use them, I turn them upside down. Who wants dust and dirt collecting on the plate, on the surface of the plate where you're going to eat from? Not I. So I turn them upside down. My family, on the other hand, doesn't always understand why I turn them upside down. But that's why. Ricer said it looks nice. That won't break your teeth. Ricer said that looks like nice ice that won't break your teeth. You're absolutely right, Ricer. I will not. Jeremy says, good to hear, Victor. And just take it easy and heal up. Oh, God. Johnny says, lamb. Yuck. When was this? Oh, man, I am so far behind. Golly. Usually tell folks, find a local wood and stick with it till you learn your smokers and try different woods when comfortable. All woods heat differently. Man. Yes, indeed. Try to catch up. Look out, Ricer. Next thing you know, he'll have you in one of those ice machines on your counter. Ricer has one. His is a little different, but he has one. And Ricer has more than one ice maker. Ricer's got like a freaking industrial size one. I would love to have that big old industrial size one that Ricer has. But, I have, other means of active cooling. Yeah, no problem, Waylon. No. Angela says she got fired from SDSBBQ. I don't know why. No severance either. No, Angela, you didn't get fired. Your priority switch. You have your own child, and if I take you away from your child, then you would have to have child care. I started reading the air fryer. Put them on blast right now, Jeremy said. Yeah, for sure, Grumpus with wood. I have been heating my home and cooking with wood for almost my whole life. I know what each wood is capable of. I know my wood. It's like, that when you see the gas light come on in your car. I know my car. Uh, yeah, shut up, Angela. I know Angela's comments and responds 28 minutes later. It's not 20 minutes. This is, I am Damn, I'm 10 minutes behind. Jeez. Chachi, ¿qué te pasó? What's up, man? Marlon said, I wrote this an hour ago. I want to see how long it takes you to read it. I read it within less than a minute. I caught up. Angela says, childcare should be free since I babysat all the taste testers. I mean, yeah, but... So what you should do is you should work out having taste tester number 3 watch your little child, okay, and maybe we can work that out. But there's a lot more there's a lot more complications involved since when you helped me the first couple times. Grandpa says, no one knows my wood better than me. Yeah, right. Jeremy says, close enough. Yeah, another champion. Oh man, Chachi, see, man, we have not had that much to drink. We have not had that much to drink. Again, Jeremy says, damn straight, Grumpus. A couple of times. Those are my kids. No. I'm saying you have moved further away since when they were young. So, a little more difficult now. That's all I'm saying. That's all. That's it, and that's all, man. All right. I'm going to get some more ice and sip on this last little bit for the last 15 minutes. Marlon said, Grumpus, I would hope you know your wood better than anyone else. Pause. And on that note, I'm gonna go get some more ice. Pause. We steak and potatoes tonight. There's a potato hanging out on the counter. We need to go to the refrigerator. Like grape nuts. Or is that like just the raisins? What should I have as a snack from the refrigerator? I'm asking out loud, like I'll be able to hear your responses, and I won't be able to see or hear your responses until I get back to my phone, and I have to read them. Chex Mix. Someone loves some popcorn. On the counter. Take a quick handful of that. No, Chachi, not going in the freezer. Jeremy, I'm not wasting time. Grandma said rice don't take this long to get ice. I was in the refrigerator trying to find a snack too. Oh, you know what? Look, there we go. I left these ginger snaps right here. And I didn't play any music. Ricer plays music. He plays the P polka. Note to self. Note to self. The ginger snaps, in my opinion, are a little too crunchy to try to eat on the live stream. Angela said dry ass ginger snaps, yo. Grumpus are dashing and lead with the cookies, yeah. Things sound hard as hell. They're good though. Ginger snaps are yummy. Yo, ginger snaps and eggnog is a competition. Excuse me. I wouldn't know anything. My jar is empty. My jar is empty. Ginger snaps, really? Yes, ginger snaps are banging. What's wrong, Marlon? Y'all notice that hat changes in the background? No, they still there. I do have an extra one. I have a new one. There we go. So that's the one I wear often. These two are similar, but this one has like an elastic band, and I've worn the elastic band out. There's Johnny's hat. That's the new one, and that also has an elastic band that I've kind of stretched out. You know, the elastic. Jeremy says, anyone like bottle caps candy? I mean, I can do with some of that. What one brought the bad luck? It might have been this new one that brought the bad luck, because this one, the one that I wear regularly, is the one that I refuse to wash. Like, I have not washed it all season, and it smells just like sweat a little bit, but it's like my sweat, you know, my head sweat. But I will be washing it soon. Um, D-Dub, do Girl Scouts sell ginger snaps? No, but if you need some Girl Scout cookies, I know someone. Um, she just so happens to be here, and she's my cousin. Her daughter is selling Girl Scouts cookies. Jeremy says was thinking about them the other day. I guess they still sell them. Yep. Ricer said, "Yep, dude, never change a good thing. Haven't had them since when I was a kid." Angela says, "We Girl Scouts do not sell ginger snaps." I feel like she snapped her head when she was saying snap and like bobbed her head as she said, "We don't sell ginger snaps. We're above ginger snaps." I won't say judging, but I felt that next snap for sure. Oh man. There was definitely a snap. Jeremy. Marlon said because ginger snaps are for people under 11. What? What are you talking about, Marlon? You don't enjoy ginger snaps? What is wrong with you? You like wrestling, but don't like ginger snaps? Jack and Betty. Man, oh man. I feel like we need to talk for a whole nother hour just because. Jack says we're late. It's still 64 degrees, so we're cleaning junk, getting ready for a scrap truck to haul off all the leftover parts. Oh man. Oh, sorry to hear that, Jack. T-Dub said, LOL, wifey brought home 4 boxes Sunday, none of which were my favorites. Alright, D-Dub, which are your favorite Girl Scout cookies? And yes, I'm about to judge you by your response. So just let that be known. Russ said the Girl Scouts are a mafia breaking child labor laws. Yo. I'm just going to sip my drink. Rice says chocolate mints. Thin mints. Thin mints. My turn tonight. The jar is gone. That's what's up, Jimmy. I finished my jar, but I had a smaller jar tonight on purpose. Intentionally had a small jar. Marlon said, I will mail you some Cheerios for teething. Nah, man, you can't use Cheerios for teething. You need to use something harder. Cheerios is just a good snack, but yo, Cheerios make the darndest of messes. Man, they get everywhere. Angela said February 28th, you can do ship to me. Right, just said I used them to scoop ice cream. Hell yeah, Thin Mints. What? Chachi is about to get banned. Banned. First he come in here talking about the World Series. Then he come in here talking about Super Bowl. Chachi, you are on your second strike, dog. Actually, you talking about Thin Mints? You are treading on or walking on thin ice, my friend. You're not even my friend anymore. Not at all. Jack says Thin Mints here. Thin Mints. That's where it is. Yo, Thin Mints, whatever the peanut butter ones are, I don't remember what they're called because they change names depending on who your supplier is. And then my wife likes the Samoas, and I know that they're called something else certain places, but Samoas, the one with the coconut, that's the one my wife likes. The Do-si-dos and the tagalongs, the shortbread ones, those are pretty good too. Those are pretty high on my list. But Thin Mints, number 1 with a bullet. Grandma said the first Girl Scout that knocks on my door in uniforms gets to sell me one of everything. Nice. D-Dub said Do-si-dos and shortbread. Jeremy says plead the fields. Angela said LOL. Yeah, they can't do door knocks supposedly anymore. Have you seen the world in 2023? Really? But he lives in Texas, and Texas be different. Cause we live in the DC metro area, and not for nothing, not that it's safer there in Texas where he is than it is in the DC metro, but I mean, sometimes it's like, dang. Yeah. Hey, Chachi, come on, bring it on. Look, I tell people all the time, I don't fist fight anymore. I don't fist fight anymore. I'm a card carrying member, and Efron find out. Okay. Angela said everything is virtual now. Angela said Texas is its own country, as is Florida. No, so Texas tries to be its own country, and Florida is just they different. Mm. Uh, Marlon said caramel delights. I don't even think I know what those are. I can't say that I've had those before. Chachi, you're cruising. Uh mm. Caramel delights equals Samoas. Oh. Nope. Mm-mm. Not them. Not no anything with coconut. Mm-mm. So Josh, you forgot a comma. He says, "Big sexy." I'll insert the comma for you. Comma. Josh is in the house. So Josh was calling me Big Sexy, and he said that he was in the house because the way he read it said Big Sexy Josh. Time out. Big Sexy, comma. He was talking to me. And then he said, Josh is in the house. He was saying, hey, I'm here. I'm here. What up, Josh? How you doing? Grumpus says, still doing my neighborhood. I've been in this house for 40 years. Neighborhood kids, then grandkids, now their kids all know him. The lemon cookies, though. I mean, I think I bought a box the last time because it was one of those things that, the good ones sold out fast, and then there was like the leftover stuff, and one of the leftover, I don't say leftover Jones was, the lemon one. Have you ever? I don't say have you ever, but have you been to Maggiano's recently, and they have the lemon cookies? That's what those lemon esque cookies remind me of. The cookies from Maggiano's. Josh said, "Ha ha! You are big sexy dash. You know I love you. Hell yeah. Yo, hold on, hold on. Here we go. Yo, here we go. Come on, Josh, represent. What you rocking with? I know, Croc Gang. Oh my gosh, I'm not even reading. I'm not even reading Chachi's comments anymore. Chachi about to get muted for a couple minutes. Grandma says, Josh is here. Y'all put your Girl Scouts away. Yeah. Marlon said, Dreadlock Sexy is here. I'm bald headed. Bald headed. I see your future. Josh said, Crocs for life. I used to like the lemon sandwich cookies that came in a box with the vanilla sandwich cookies. Nice. All right. Toffee-tastic. What? Oh my gosh. Yo, Chachi is cruising for a bruising. Cruising for a bruising. The disrespect that comes out of Chachi's fingers as he's typing. I'm going to say out of his mouth. The disrespect. Yo. He said if I really had to, I would buy Thin Mints just to help support. But I wouldn't eat them. I'd probably just run them over with my trunk. Anyone else want to put Chachi on timeout? For the disrespect, the level of disrespect that he's disrespected the Thin Mints? Anyone else? Can I get like 5 timeout? Put Chachi on timeouts, and I will put Chachi on timeout. All right, Angela, do you remember we had a dog named Chachi? That's why I have a special place in my heart for Chachi. But don't delete the message. Don't delete the message. This is all part of the fun, Jimmy. Uh, uh, hold on. Damn it. Toffee-tastic. What is that? Toffee-tastic? Versus says, I guess that's what I do, yeah. Some Pink Floyd quotes. Alright. I can't say that I know enough Pink Floyd to Grumpus raised his hand. So Chachi got blocked and all his comments disappeared. No, he didn't get blocked. Jimmy, he deleted his message. Let's see if I can. I don't know if I can reinstate it because I don't know. Jimmy's feeling happy. Oh shoot. No. Damn, Jimmy, I really was only playing. Cause Chachi is cool for 300 seconds. All right, I guess Chachi, you got timed out for 300 seconds. Don't feel bad about it though. Damn, y'all really timed him out. Thanks, Jimmy. I really was only giving him grief, but he did call me out on the World Series. He called me out on the Super Bowl, and now he has it in for Thin Mints. Thin Mints, like Chachi, we gotta kumbaya, brother. We gotta kumbaya. Like you can't keep hating on everything that I love and cherish, man. So wait till this 300 seconds is up. Thin Mints are the last one I will eat too. D-Dub. Girlfriend said, I kind of miss Chachi now. Jimmy is gangster. He said, don't ban me. What's wrong with you? What? Oh. You had bananas. Jimmy said, careful what you ask for. Look, Jeremy said, cruising for a bruising is a segue quote on Dark Side on a segue quote on Dark Side of the Moon. DW better keep sipping your Sunny D before Jimmy blocks you. Yo, time out. So first and foremost, we are just over the 2-hour mark, and I want to give Bumpy a shout out because Bumpy, I'm sure he's cracking up along with us, even though he's watching it, post-mortem. And shout out to anyone else who was watching, rewatching. Excuse me. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen or watch this afterward, because we all know that it's more fun to be here when you're here. Anyway, with that being said, Chachi, are you out of jail yet? Can you comment yet, Chachi? Yo, Grumpus, thank you for noticing. I have a new phone. My new phone has a better, I won't say selfie camera, but it has a better camera. And I noticed the same thing, Grumpus. I was like, dang, yo, can we? Wow. I was like, man, I'm glad I shaved my head. And, excuse me, I look crisp AF right now. Like, for real. Like, it really does look crisp. Grumpus says, we good? Look, Grumpus is like, hey, I don't want to be put out there. I don't want to be put on timeout. Salt and pepper coming in clear. Yes, Angela, you missed it. I said that I'll look so clear you could count the number of grays I have in here. Yep. Anyone want to take a guess on how many there are? Hold on. That's a good patch right there. Yep. That's the patch that was brought on by Taste Tester number 2, I'm sure. Anyway, Chachi, Rice are about to get put on timeout. He keep talking. So Rice said, "Wait, you got an iPhone? Ha 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 ha! No, I did not. Um, I upgraded my phone to the Samsung 23 Ultra. Just the Note. um, so I've had the, I'm kind of upset how Samsung has changed and changed from having the Note and the Ultra as their two flagships, and made the Note the Ultra, and it became the flagship. I had the 22 Ultra. This is the 22 Ultra. And hey, look, here you go, Inception. I had the 22 Ultra. This is it. And for whatever reason, it does not have as good of a camera as this 23 Ultra. 23 Ultra. So I'm sorry, I had the 22 Plus. That's 22 Plus. Angela said, "Blink twice if you're alive, Chachi." Yeah, Chachi. Angela said, "I have the 22 Ultra." Yeah, so does your cousin. My wife has the 22 Ultra. But I never liked the 22 the 22 Plus. Never liked it. As soon as I got it, I was like, "Damn, I should not have bought this phone." I liked the 21 Ultra better than I liked the 22 Plus. Again, Samsung and their naming convention, I would have preferred it to be what it was. But I was up late a few weeks ago, and let's see. Russ said, "Mr. Chachi, you really had to." I really had to. I would buy Thin Mints just to help support, but I wouldn't eat them. Probably just run them over with my truck. Oh, I guess he's talking about what he said. We can pull out the AED and bring him back to life if he'll behave. Grumpa said, "I love my 22 Ultra, dude. I'm telling you, when Verizon did, I'm not Verizon. When Samsung did the thing that they did, what they took away the separation between the Note and the Ultras. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the 22, and I'm the guy that gets a new phone every year or every other year, and I was like, oh man, when I saw the opportunity to get the 22 Ultra, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get it, and I bought it, I got it, and I was like, man, this is dumb. This phone sucks. Like the older one was better. The 21 was better than the 21 Ultra was better than the 22 Plus. I said it and I'll stand by it. It really was. And I dealt with that phone for a year, and I was like, nope, So I was up late one night. Actually, I think it was after a live stream I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was after the live stream. And I saw Verizon say, "Hey, you can get the 23 Ultra." And I was like, "Oh, all right. Let me look into that." And they said, "Oh, you can get it for $800 off. You can get a free tablet. You can get a free Samsung watch, or you can get it for $1,000 off." I was like, "The phone is $1,200. I'll get it for $1,000 off. Yes, please." I placed my order a few weeks ago, and I got my phone. It was supposed to come this Friday. I got my phone on Monday. I was like, "What? Yeah." Yeah. Marla said, "No Chachi, no peace. No Chachi, no peace." Yeah. Chachi is back. Chachi is back. All right. So, listen. I get on Chachi because I get on Chachi. I told you, Chachi, don't feel bad, all right? Don't feel bad. I'm sorry you got put on timeout, but it was only temporary. Um, Look, Jeremy says I feel the same way about every new phone I get. Yo, Angela says Chachi. Grandpa says sorry I misspoke. Mine is a Note 20 Ultra, but I still love it. So that's the thing. The Note in 2020 was separate and different than an Ultra. I'm pretty sure because in 2020 there was the flagship Samsung flagships. They had two. They had the Note and they had the Ultra. The Ultras were a different breed than the Notes. But then in 2022 they changed the game and they said, "Oh, our flagship is now the Ultra and the Note has gone away." But the thing is, I was all about the flagship phones, but didn't want the Note. Like I don't. That the Note is just like I'm very rarely going to use the stylus. I. I mean, the Ultra was big enough for me, but the cameras are what I need because I take a lot of pictures. I take a lot of pictures. Uh, Grumpa said, "Oh, he said he misspoke." Marlon said, "Chachi free now, Sue." um, what she made a deal with Verizon after one of the two? What you made a deal with Verizon after one of the two last live streams? I mean, if it wasn't, it was. I know it was a late night, like a late night, and it might not have been most of the. It probably wasn't after the live streams, not the last 2 weeks, because I was hammered, hammered. Uh, Chachi said it don't bother me. I know it was all fun and jokes. Yes, indeed, Chachi. Yes, indeed. You guys give me grief, I just give it back. But yo, I mean, between me and you, Chachi, you can't be disrespecting at them minutes. You can talk about my fields, you can talk about my birds, but don't you dare comfort them minutes, okay? As a fat man who loves cookies, you can only go so far, bruh. Only go so far. Other than that, we cool. We cool. They were ultra because they were 5G. Nope, there is a difference. There's still 4G phones out there too. The 5G is just another level. That's what I thought. Now I use the stylus daily. Do you really? What do you use the stylus for? I would never buy an Android. It's just as bad as owning. Chachi about to get put on permanent timeout. This motherfucker. Okay, he done made me curse. I bought straight from Samsung. So Angela, the last one I bought straight from Samsung, and I did the Samsung financing, and yo, the Samsung financing is the worst. Um, I had a hard time because I set mine up to pay every other week when I got paid. Um, I set mine up to get paid, to pay the bill every other week, and my first bill got messed up, and I got charged a fee, and then they I swear they hold on to the checks because they're like, oh, you sent 2 checks in a month? Yeah, we're going to not apply one and we're going to apply 3 checks in the next month. So I got charged a fee. So I'm like, yo, you know what? Forget this. I paid off my phone and I'm like, nah, bro, you can, I'm not doing this anymore. Only financing through Verizon. Tack that money onto my bill and give me a credit. Cause Samsung be playing games. Look, Angela said, Chachi, I was on your side. D-Dub said, I have a Note 20 Ultra. All right, she's not on your side anymore, Chachi. Let me just tell you. Yep. mm. Oh, now don't try to clean it up now, Chachi, because you thought you was coming at me. It's other folks who you affecting too. Okay, all right, other folks. Man, even though her Evie is inferior and her phone is inferior too, but it's okay though. It's okay because she family. She family. We just gonna let that slide to the left. Grandpa said I wrote notes for work and auto load to Evernote as backup. All right. Jet says Betty is laughing. She heard the slide out. I didn't slide. It was cruising. It was cruising. I apologize, Betty. I'm sure, you know, Betty. Can I be honest with you, Betty? I'm gonna sit up. I'm gonna sit up. And Angela will tell you, I have the mouth of a sailor, but I try to play and have the mouth of a saint while I'm on my live streams and while I'm doing my videos because I know my children, if they don't watch me, they don't, but maybe they will later in life. And I would like to um I would like to appear holy, not holier, but I would like to appear like I was more of a saint than I actually am. Grandpa said I'm on the move most of the day. Okay. I always get a discount from Samsung, MSFT discount. Really? Yeah. And Samsung family friends discount. See, now I don't, I mean, I have an MSDN subscription. That's about it. But I don't, I'm not that close. Okay. I'm not that high on the hog. Yeah, I mean. Jimmy said, "Thank you, Chachi. I had to take off my glasses and wipe my eyes on that one." No, don't do that. Okay, don't do that. You know what, Jimmy? You just put him on timeout and deleted his comment. You can't congratulate him. No, no. Rottweiler dude. All right, what's up? He says I've been eating the Hers Carolina Reaper cheese puff sometimes. Okay. Uh, all right. Uh, Josh says I love when Dash is honest. Yes. That's her favorite phrase anymore. Between steroids, she got Roy Rage. Betty, this one's on me. I wish a motherfucker would. Okay? No, you know what? You know what? Betty probably say some stuff. I was about to go there. Betty probably be like, motherfucker, move. Pick this motherfucking, I'm sure she just dropped them. Like, she sprinkles the MF bombs like the Salt Bay does salt. That's what happens. She be like, motherfucker, what? Motherfucker, who? Yeah, Betty, that's what's up. Mm. Angela says taste tester number 2 is me reincarnated, so he will know the truth. Yeah. You know what's funny though? In front of the kids, the missus curses more than I do. When I curse in front of them, oh, they know. They know. I mean, business. Or I am pissed off. Chachi says until I show up, then he becomes the devil. I got you back, Chachi. Down with the thin mints. Down with the thin mints. D-Dub is about to get dismissed. Jeremy, how you doing? Dash my bro. He said, miss you. I know, man. I'm telling you, I feel like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I really have just not been in a happy place. I have not been in a good place mentally. And I really don't, I almost say I don't feel like, but I really don't feel like doing video. There's a lot to it. And not being lazy, it's just, I don't feel, I don't even say good about it. It's hard to explain. Other than it's not making me happy. It's not something I'm gonna put my attention into right now. Jerry says it's good to see you. Well, thanks, man. It's good to be seen. Uh, Angela said, Rottweiler, that sounds painful on the output. Wow, Russ said, you ain't no Saint Dash. That statement flowed out smooth, too smooth. I mean, Jerry says, I understand you, my bro. Thank you. Like, so here's something, right? Rice said, I got some ideas for you, Dash, but you certainly got the YouTube burnout got some ideas for you, but you certainly got the YouTube burnout. You know what, Ricer? It's the YouTube burnout is spilled over from just just life, like day to day. Like I'm telling you, man. I swear, and I don't want to blame it on the pandemic. I really hate blaming it on the pandemic or saying the pandemic did this or the pandemic did that. But I really have not been happy. And that's just it. I've just not been happy. Um, but right, sir, you know the math, man. And when I say the math, you have my number. Feel free to shoot me a text message or an email and hit me up and I'll say I gotta find something to just break me out of it. But I will be taking a trip to Florida in actually next weekend, and I filmed the trip. Excuse me, I filmed the trip down to Florida and I won't say back, but I filmed. Goodness, I filmed the trip to Florida and back when I drove my wife and my daughter down when I first got the EV. Now it's been, I guess it's been about 6 months since I drove that, 7 months since I've been down there, and I have 21,000 miles on my car so far. So maybe it'll be like 7 months and 21,000 miles later. Here we go. Uh, uh, Ricer said, "Oh yeah, bro, we all feel that." Rock Roller says, "I pour Carolina Reaper sauce in my toasted sandwiches and put in pickled jalapenos." Nah. Jeremy says, "That's you're the man, bro. Man on barbecue. Well, I appreciate that, man. I need to meet and greet collaboration. You need a meet and greet collaboration. You're absolutely right." Chachi, it's only gonna be like one, two, three, four, five, maybe six stops. Six stops. Six, maybe seven if I get hungry. Um, Jeremy says, "Don't stop what you do." Well, I appreciate that, man. You should cook collab with someone. That would be fun, even if it was StreamYard. Yeah. So I won't say the problem with that, Angela, is it would be something that has to be that that would be cooked kind of quickly. But I mean, we do barbecue, and those are low and slow cooks and longer cooks. But I mean, you guys remember Rob, the Eagles and Phillies fan, who he had his girl over and he was talking to us when we did the StreamYard thing. I guess that was 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago now. He might be he might be a good one for that. Jerry says we need a shot. That's all that's left in my jar. So I don't remember what happened on the last few live streams. So I limited myself to a half pint, so 8 ounces. I'm glad you found that amusing, Shachi. Uh, Marlon said you can do steaks. Yeah, like steaks. So when you say steaks, I immediately thought of cheesesteak. But yes, a steak. A steak would be good. Yo, I did a tomahawk ribeye. When I say good, googly moogly, it was delicious. It was so good. And I actually used some of Uncle Steve's shake. And man, if you have not, do not know, or have not purchased some shake from Uncle Steve, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. UncleSteve'sShake.com. Um, Jeremy said, "We need a shot, my bro." Yeah, I remember him. He's still crying about. Yeah, Chachi. Jerry says, "I want to give you my cell phone number." Okay. Jerry, so I would tell you, if you look in the channel information, the about, you can find my email address. And I'll just type it in there. NDSTELDRUMSMOKERS at Gmail. And I'm just going to apologize now. It's in all caps. I didn't realize until I was like 3/4 of the way through the last open live stream. We had a ball. Yeah, we were on this live stream for 4 damn hours. Y'all mugs. Man. 4 hours. Angela said, yes, that was a fun live stream. Chachi said, when you coming to Texas so we can meet up? Chachi, where in Texas are you? So I can know where not to come. Jimmy said, tell Uncle Steve. Jimmy said, nah, bro, you can't do that. You can't do that, dog. Jimmy, you ain't shit. LOL, one hot dog. He did a one hot dog on a few years ago, dropped it on the ground. That was effing hilarious. It was a it wasn't even a pig in a blanket. It was an hors d'oeuvre. And it was not, I did not mean to drop that damn thing on the ground. That was not my intention. Houston, rude. No. See? Nuh-uh. I'm sure if I come to Houston, there's going to be stuff talking about who won a baseball game and other stuff like that. I ain't coming to Houston. You going to meet me wherever I come in Texas, damn it. Say word. Say word. I ain't come. No, not setting foot in Houston. Even if I had, the only way I would come to Houston is if I needed to charge my car. That's it. I ain't going to Houston voluntarily. But if you pay for me to come to Houston, I mean, I never been to Houston. I ain't going to Houston. Nope. What Russ said, they're trying to, well, heck, are you going to come out with the EV planes? I don't know. Dude, there is an EV plane I actually watched. I can't think what. It was a small university that this guy flew an EV plane from stop to stop. And it's crazy because he flew the plane, and at the remote locations, they used a Ford F-150 to back charge the plane so it could fly to the next event. Yeah, it was dope, actually. Grumpus says, we got Rudy's here. So? Look, Marlon, I was able to handle 4 hours of fun, definitely. Chachi says, just don't say where you're from so no one judges me. As a proud Philadelphian, I don't tell people where I'm from. I let people know. Actually, I don't even let them know. I inform folks where I am from. Inform them. Informa. Give them one of those new bumper stickers. Yeah. Jeremy says, call me, bro. Hopefully, let me see. No, not that one. Let's check. I don't see an email from you, Jeremy. But, even checking the spam. No. I have been horrible with my email and the comments lately. I won't say I keep meaning to, but I really do. Sometimes the comments are draining. Angela said, LOL, Marlon, he left last week too. No, I was tired as hell last week. I was so tired. I was falling asleep on the live stream and I had a lot to drink. So, one contributed to the other. Johnny said I was editing. I did. Did I just hear Dash is coming to Houston? Oh, see, you know what? Damn it, yo, Johnny. Johnny holds a special place. John, mm, if I go, maybe I can be on the outskirts of Houston. Like Johnny, you don't live in Houston proper, do you? Cause I know Houston's a big place. Do you live in Houston proper, or do you live like outside of Houston? Cause if you live outside of Houston, I'm coming to see you, Johnny. Chachi, in the words of my man Chris Cross or the group Chris Cross, you can get the finger, the middle. What up, Chris? I'm about to. Uh, Martin is Marlon talking about Quentin. Yeah, Jerry says I learned a lot from you. Yeah, listen, I have a. I'll say I have a lot to teach, but I, like I said, I'm gonna be honest. Like I really do get joy. It brings me joy to help others, to show people the light, to give people the light, to give people inspiration. But that does not like. I am completely honest. I am in a funk, and I'm like, it's like a batting slump. And I cannot, I have not figured out my way out of it. Um, yeah. Marlon, I'm not getting old. I can, if you need me to be on here for 4 hours, I got you. Grumpus has thought maybe I'd use Rudy's as a bait to get you here. I know where other places in Texas, uh, there are Rudy's as well. It's got a few years of me, so I can agree. Yeah, he would be able to handle. He wouldn't be able to handle real Texas barbecue from Houston. Seriously? Johnny said, I do not live in Houston. Then, Johnny, I will come see you. You can come see my special place. Slow blink. Taste tester number 2. Here. One of them is still here. It's okay, Johnny. No judgment here, Grumper said. Johnny said, Rudy's sucks. No. Rudy's is what got me into barbecue, man. Rudy's is good enough. It's good enough. Marlon said, okay, I need you to all to stop blowing Dash head up. The camera is good, but it's not that good. It's alright, Marlon. It's okay. It's okay. Chachi says, I live on the outskirts of Houston. I'm not coming to your outskirts. Nope. 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 Mm-mm. Grandpa said, I only go to Rudy's to get Dash barbecue sauce. I'm just saying, I can use another bottle. Well, let's hit real talk. I might need you Friday night. We shall see. My wife is going away on Sunday, and I plan to be present these next couple days before she goes away, so that while she's away, I won't say I can do anything I want, but I plan to be present. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm sticking to. Where is Laura? She would be having a fit right now. That yawn counter. She does a yawn counter. Give me a second, guys. Like I said, I hear one of the taste testers. At least I thought I heard one of the taste testers. I'm gonna see if they are still no taste testers there. I swear I heard it. Yes, whatever's upstairs. It's starting to get stale. Yep. Chachi says you pulled a knife on me. Doesn't that mean something? Yep. It means that I thought that I didn't want to go to jail for shooting you. Real talk. So Grumpus Dash is working on a hall pass. Yep. Johnny says Rudy's is horrible ever since they franchised the original Rudy's in Bourne. Was good. Fun fact: I want to go to Bourne, Texas, because I want to go to Demolition HQ. I want to meet Matt. Like, seriously. Chachi, you do have a special place in my heart. It's just that special place, like, it's like the taint. That's that. Yep. Yep. Russ, a great night. Oh, have a great week. I'm out. All right, Russ, be easy, man. Chachi said, you pulled a knife on me. Doesn't that mean something? Oh, yeah. Yep. Jimmy says, stand by, snack time. Lou said, hey, yo, better late than never. What's going on? Lou, we talked about you earlier, and when I say we, I mean me. I said something. Oh, I was talking about the Kamado. And how you love your Kamado. Marlon said his wife is going to see Cat Williams on Friday, so I might as well do something. All right. Cat Williams, man. I don't say inspirational. But that dude was like, what? He's like, you got haters. He's like, you got 4 haters? Your mission is to get 54, whatever he said. But that one resonated with me. Lou said, I got a roll wild night. I needed to check in. Take care, everyone. That's what's up. Yeah, Bernie. Chachi. I mean, it is what it is. Oh, damn, almost knocked over my popcorn. Lou said he loves his Kamado Joe. Made rotisserie wings in a basket and brisket for Super Bowl. All right. Telling you, Cat Williams stand up by himself is better than when he was in Friday After Next, in my opinion. Don't ask Chachi his opinion, because it's wrong. Jimmy said, did you put gator shake in your popcorn? No. So, I did not. Taste tester number 1 made this for my wife earlier. So it's starting to get stale. But there's enough salt and butter in this that I'm happy. I don't need to add anything else. Jerry says you need to do more YouTube videos. I know, Jerry. Don't remind me. Chachi said someone tried to give him a Pellet smoker. I guess he's saying pellet. I told them I would just take it and throw it off a bridge. You know what? I tell people when they start wanting to talk about like Dallas jerseys or Redskins jerseys, well, Commanders jerseys. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, give it to me. Give it to me. Any jersey other than my team, you know, be it baseball, be it football, even hockey. I'm not the biggest basketball fan, so you know, people say what they're gonna say about the basketball team. And I'm like, yes, I'll take that jersey. You know why I'll take that jersey? I used it as a fire starter. I'm like, I gotta start my big smoker somehow. I said Chachi. Chachi asked me was I didn't I have a special place for him, and I said yes. He was like, "Oh," Chachi said, "I thought I had a special place in your heart." I said, "Yeah, you do. The taint." Mm-hmm. Did you know that Ricky Smiley and Kay Marlon said for Cat Williams was never that funny to him. I feel the same way about Kevin Hart. Like the first time I won't say recognized or realized Kevin Hart was in Soul Plane, and I was just like, yo, this little dude just set us back. I'm like, this is not funny. Kevin Hart grew on me, even though Kevin Hart didn't grow himself. Mike, what's going on? I was just about to say, I gotta check my beard for popcorn. And here it is. Oh, damn it. The little popcorn fleck fell back into the bowl. Some of them. So I just said, no, I'll take anyone's jersey to collect, but not the Dallas Cowgirls. I would burn it in front of them. Yeah, Gotta start my smoker somehow. It was sticking my heart growing me too. Definitely was not a fan. He yells and then realized he probably yells because no one could hear him down there. Full disclosure, my cousin Angela is like 5'19". She's 5'10", 5'11". So, Camel Heart definitely too short for her. Like I said, busy like you wouldn't believe. Oh, I believe it, Mike. I believe it. I know all about being busy. I said 5'10", 5'11". Marlon said Kevin Hart was funny to me, but when you do the same thing over and over again, it stopped being funny. I think that's what happened to Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was different. See, I think I'm gonna say Eddie Murphy's problem. Eddie Murphy had the face. Charlie Murphy had the jokes. Charlie used to write for Eddie. Between Charlie and Eddie, Charlie was way funnier. But Eddie was, not for nothing, Eddie was available while Charlie was locked up. Charlie Murphy definitely won. And you can thank Chappelle for bringing Charlie Murphy out. Whoa. Mm, 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 mm. And Rick James too. What? That comes with it. Charlie Murphy was a hell of a storyteller, and he was funny as hell too. What made you think? What was not funny about Charlie Murphy and his story? Oh, almost knocked over this bowl. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Mike said between working, running our side business, and taking care of my mother-in-law, and saving to buy a 90 Paxton Supercharger Coupe Mustang. Oh man. Wow. I love and hate popcorn at the same time. The kernels stuck in my teeth. Grandma says for me, Eddie was just filthy. Funny, no. Not so much. I don't know. I feel Grumpus like Eddie was ahead of his time. Definitely. Definitely ahead of his time. The stuff Eddie got dinged for back then is acceptable now because of what Eddie said back then. I mean, but it was a different time. I know. Eddie's new movie. Oh, the one on Netflix. I watched I watched some of it. I didn't see the end. It was said the prince gets shirts and blouses. He said they lost, but then he made a pancakes. Game blouses. Chachi says Joe Coy. I agree. Marlon said, have you seen a Charlie Murphy stand-up? It was not funny. I'm going to have to disagree with you, Marlon. I liked Eddie. Oh, wait. Marlon said, have you seen a Charlie Murphy stand-up? It was not funny. I might have to look back at a Charlie Murphy stand-up. I can't say that I remember, but yeah. Angela said, I just got put on a Joe Coy. Yo, that dude is hilarious. Definitely. I've been watching Joe Coy on YouTube for a while. And Netflix was like, oh, hey, let's give you a couple dollars and you do a stand-up. I mean, you do a special. And they got it right. Netflix. Netflix has been doing the most for good reason. Sorry. Reicher said, in his opinion, Richard Pryor was better than both. I agree. But I see you, Richard Pryor, and I raise you Red Fox. They were cut from the same cloth, like for sure. It was a different time too. But I mean, comedians, like in no specific order. I don't know, some of my favorites, and I won't even say like top whatever, because Richard Pryor for sure, Red Fox for sure. Um, was it Mom's Mabley? Was that her name? That lady was funny. Um, then you got some new folks. I'm a fan of Eddie Murphy. I'm a fan of Charlie Murphy. I am. I mean, of course, you got like Bernie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer, all of the kings of comedy. Those dudes. Um, I don't even mind like Jeff Foxworthy. Like he was funny too in his own way. But there's so many funny folks out there nowadays. It's like forget about them. Grumpa said Red Fox for sure. Mike says I don't want to bring this up, but yeah, we're not going to talk about that. That's just, that's what happened. Popcorn. Yo, Red Fox was for the streets. He said he had the girls for days. Hell yeah, man. Man. Sure enough. Man, oh man. I mean, can you imagine being like a fly on the wall of a speakeasy back in the day? When Red Fox was performing? Man. Mike said Red Fox, Bernie Mac, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, yes. Oh, there's another great one. Gallagher. I love Gallagher. Um, mm, Jet Foxworthy is really funny. Oh, she says was really funny. Robin Williams. I think Robin Williams was another one of those situational storytellers. He wasn't necessarily like a stand-up comedian. But then you have people who are not situationally, but people who are funny, like, yo, Jeff Ross. That dude roasts the F out of everybody. No one is safe with Jeff Ross around. Grumman said Red Fox had funny jokes, the new stuff. Take away the FUs and the MF. He said, what's left? There's some jokes in there. Angela said Bernie pronounced things funny. I'm gonna get some milk and cookies. Robin Harris, yeah. Definitely. Gone way too soon. You know somebody who is funny as hell? Miss Pat. I love listening to Miss Pat tell stories. Her stories are the greatest. Ralphie May, Andy Kaufman. Is that the? Does he go by Andrew Kaufman? What's the dude? His name is Taxi. Oh, Andrew. What's his name? He had a special on Netflix. No, it wasn't on Netflix. It was actually on BET. Because Netflix, they wouldn't let him air it. But he's from New York. And dude is funny as hell. It's so offensive. Which makes him that much funnier. Jonathan Winters, Robin Williams were truly funny people. Even without jokes, yeah. I can't say that I know who Jonathan Winters was or is. Marlon says, okay, I just watched a little bit on Joe Coy. Is he funny or am I drunk? It's both. You are drunk and Joe Coy is funny. Like I said, I've been watching Joe Coy. I watched Joe Coy from there's a just like Laugh House. I don't say specials, but Laugh House, viewings from around the country. So I've known Joe Coy. I've seen Joe Coy for a while. And when he got the stand up, the special on Netflix, I'm like, oh man, yep, he deserves that one. He's funny, like genuinely, really funny. All right, I finished my popcorn. Jonathan Winters was Robin Williams' idol. Oh, so old. Before my time is better. You have to be Grumpus' age to know who Gertrude and Heathcliff were. Speaking of Heathcliff, Bill Cosby was funny too. I said it. He was funny. But he was also a predator. But he was funny. Writer said favorite 70s TV show. 18 was 80s. The Fall Guy. I think The Fall Guy was in the 70s. But you got to remember, I was born in 1980, okay? I was born in 1980. Rumble says, what about Gertrude and Heathcliff, Red Skelton? Like I said, Jenna Winters played on Mork and Mindy. Played their baby. Marlon, you know Gertrude and Heathcliff probably because of your parents. Two seagulls. Dang, Jimmy. Ain't thought about him in forever. Yeah, The Fall Guy. I think The Fall Guy was in the 70s. Oh, Chips was another one that I really liked. Chips. Because when I was homesick during the day, if I was home from school, I would watch Chips and The Fall Guy. Nope. Heathcliff was a comedian who probably helped inspire the cat. Just guessing. I am at almost 3 hours. Shout out to Bumpy because he's watching this at 1x and he didn't speed this thing up. Like me, I'd have sped it up, man. I'm like 1.75. What? Yes, please. Mike said rescue 911. I'm sure I know that's well after my time. Bob Newhart. Oh, speaking of Bob Saget. Yo, that dude was hilarious. And, he had this persona of being the nice, like being nice from Family, was it from Full House? Yo, man. All in the Family was good. Yes. Sanford and Son was good. Yes. Chachi said that's all. Only 3 hours. I think the longest live stream, and someone can go back and verify, but I think it was like 4 hours and like 4.5 hours. I was going to say 4 hours and 20 minutes for the meme, but it was over 4 hours. Like it might have been 4.5 hours. Uh, I am I'm not tapped out, but I do know that I need some sleep, and I mean, not for nothing. You're not gonna punk me into staying up that much later, so I'll struggle tomorrow. Mm-mm. I'm gonna go to bed. Angela said those are all awesome shows. Yeah, Mary Tyler Moore had the most spin-offs in America. Fantasy Island, Deplane, boss, Deplane. Angela said, ask Bubby's opinion. Did he like the call-in live stream or this one? I'm sure he liked the call-in live stream because he was a part of the call-in live stream. Oh, Mike said Green Acres is the place for me. Farm? Living, ooh, 70s. What about the Adams family? Mech D. Barber said I did a wing order for the Super Bowl with 2 electric smokers, Master Bullet versus Pitballs Pellet Pro. Your thoughts? How did they turn out? I mean, you gotta tell me how you like them or how they turned out. I've never cooked with electric smokers, but the Master Built versus the Pellet Pit Boss Pro Pellet. I need your thoughts. Yeah, Mama's Family. Yo, I love Mama's Family. I say growing up, my mom used to watch Mama's Family, and man, oh man. Grandpa says, "Okay, kids, Car 54, where are you?" $6 million man. Nah, man, I'm telling you, the Fall Guy was better than the $6 million man. Even though they were like one was a spinoff of the other, or they were similar or same actors. Yeah, Three's Company. Ooh, yeah. Maud gave us good times indeed. And then then the MASH. I was gonna say MASH, but I'm like, that's too cliche. MASH was well before my time. I watched Mama Family reruns on the third floor at my mom's. Shoot, man. I think we all watched Mama's Family at my mom's house, Angela. Shoot, man. I feel like had I not been drinking so much, I could whistle the the theme song. D Dub says Soap and Benson. Nope. I don't know that one. Mike said Adam 12. Adam 12. Was that Dragnet? Was that Adam 12? I know it was one of the cop shows, but was it Dragnet? Marlon said Transformers, G.I. Joe, Smurf, Super Friend, Alvin and the Chipmunks. Man, those are all 80s and 90s stuff. Rest is a Hawaii 5-0. Mac the Barber said Master Belt was mine. Pit Boss was borrowed. The Pit Boss was very versatile with a lot of features, including cooking up to 400 degrees and broil. So one of the things I've found with my pellet cooker, and you'll have to pardon me, I am tired and it's been over 3 hours I've been talking. The pellet cooker does not get nearly as hot as just period. The Master Built, the Master Built is the what is that thing called? It has the oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. Alcohol definitely is hurting me right now. What's that thing called? It's got the charcoal, and I am shot. Um, but the Master Built is it's got a fan and the gravity fed. There we go. Gosh, that was difficult. The gravity fed charcoal. And that one I think would impart a little more flavor because it's charcoal. But then again, it depends on what type of charcoal and whatever, wood you have in your chunks. First Love said, "How about Thundercats?" Thundercats was definitely the '80s. The Love Boat started in like the '70s. Angela says, "Was Love Boat the '80s?" No, I remember my school sent home letters telling parents not to let kids watch The Outer Limits, the original one. Thundercats definitely the '80s. Ricer said 77 or 78, I think, for Love Boat. D-Dub said Lost in Space. He-Man. Oh my gosh, yo. Man, man. That's you're speaking to my childhood right there. Like that was I think it was Mattel. Oh no, Hanna-Barbera maybe. Was He-Man. And it was like 83, 84. Angel said, "Oh yeah, I remember watching but wasn't born until '83. Some of us were born in 1980. Beck the Barber says '81. You still a youngin'? Marlon said, "How the hell did I forget Thundercats? Cause you weren't a fan. Thundercats. Yo, man, Thundercats, Voltron. What about Voltron? What? Yo, I loved Voltron. And here's something else. I was born. I'm born on the porn year. Oh, 69. I already knew. Right. Oh my gosh. Oh man, Alf. Yes. What about Small Wonder? That was in the early '80s. G-Force. No, that was not. I don't remember G-Force. How about Airwolf, Knight Rider? Oh, since we just transition to the '80s. Airwolf, Knight Rider, definitely. Those were my shows. Welcome back, Cotter. So there we go back into the '70s. I missed a lot of those. I think it was Chasing Women at the time. Yeah, Grumpus, I'm sure. Righteous to A-Team, of course. Leave It to Beaver. Yeah, man. Leave It to Beaver was in the '70s. What about Lassie? I mean, for real. Lassie, for sure, for sure. You know, small story, short story. There was a lady that lived a few houses up from me. Her name was Mrs. Fricker. Mrs. Fricker. And she had a dog, and her dog was named Laddie. Because Lassie was a girl, and her dog was a boy, so he was Laddie. Laddie was the same type of, I think, collie. And that dog was so old, and so was she. Mr. Ed, yeah. What's happening? Hell yeah. Rice said TV was good back then for sure. BJ and the Bear. The Bernstein Stein. It's actually Bernstein. Bears, yes. I I I know for sure I have a box. Like I probably need to go to my mom's house, but I have a box um of Bernstein Bears books. Angela said we had no distractions, so all we watched we all watched the VSAMR thing. BJ and the Bear. Oh my gosh, Dream of Genie. I Dream of Genie. Do 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 do. Yo, all right. So we talking about Dream of Genie. Can we talk about like the Price is Right and cause I be homesick. Like I said, as an '80s baby, you be homesick. You get your ginger ale. Oh man, Angela, you'll appreciate this. I remember vividly as a kid when I had the chicken pox. I was at home for like a good week, maybe even two. My mom used to come over my house every day, and she stayed downstairs, and I stayed in my room. and I had the TV that I had to press the buttons to change the channels. And man, my mom was watching her stories. I don't know what story it was. And I was in my room watching like The Price is Right, between in the bed, sleep, and watching The Price is Right. Yo, it was the best ever. And I probably was like 8 or 10 years old. Uh, T-Dub said hee haw. Nope, before my time. Um, what was the show where they discovered the oil, the Beverly Hillbillies? Was that? I think that's what it was called, Beverly Hillbillies. But that was like later in life. Okay, tiptoe down memory lane tomorrow night. It's time for sleep night, guys. Have a great rest of the week. Later, Dash. Yes, indeed. Grumper said, "Would you like to be queen for a day?" My mom would watch and cry every day. Bewitched. That's another good one. Heart to heart. I kind of heard that one and later in life. Angela said, "Yes, Beverly Hillbillies." This is a story about a man named Jed. Yep. All right, guys. This has been great fun. Thank you guys so very much. Shout out to Bumpy. Bumpy always gets the shout outs because he comments a lot. You comment a lot on a replay. As a replay watcher, you will get shouted out too. Marlon says, "Nights. I'll send you a text tomorrow." All right, Ricer, is that a threat or a promise? Angela says, "Good night, all." Mike said, "Hard Castle and McCormick." Dita says, "Dukes of Hazard." Oh my gosh. Yo, I'm so sorry. I forgot Dukes of Hazard. Dukes of Hazard, though, I don't believe was a 70s show, definitely 80s show. And I swear Dukes of Hazard has shaped me into the car guy that I am. Between Knight Rider, Dukes of Hazard, Airwolf. What was the one with the motorcycle? It was like Airwolf, but it had a motorcycle. It was kind of like a mix between Knight Rider, Airwolf, and it was the motorcycle. I can't remember what the name of that one was. It wasn't TJ Hooker, was it? But yo, and then of course my one of my favorite movies of all time was Smoker and the Bandit. Um, like seriously, one of my favorite movies of all time, Smokey and the Bandit. I can watch that movie front to back, and I don't watch it with me because I will be saying every single line. Uh, Chips, yes, I did mention Chips. Tron, I wasn't into Tron. Like I just that wasn't my thing. Grumpus, yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Just gonna leave it at that. All right, so we talked about shows from the '70s, but what about a show that was set in the '70s? There was the '70s show, and there was the Wonder Years. Man. Um, Topanga. And I'm gonna leave it at that, cause I'm just glad that my man Marcus isn't here right now, cause he used to tease me all the time, like Topanga. Randomly, he would write Topanga. Mm. Anyway, all right, guys, thank you very much for hanging out. Really appreciate you. The Brady Bunch, man. Okay, so Daisy was in my town a couple years ago. The Dukes grew a tad. Topanga was Boy Meets World. Oh, you're right. Um, was it Winnie Cooper? Winnie Cooper was on the Wonder Years. Nah, it wasn't the same as Topanga from Boy Meets World. So thanks. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead. Street Hawk, was that the one with the motorcycle? I I said Winnie Cooper. All right, guys. Thank you very much for the fact checking, the live fact checking on the '70s TV shows and what have you. This is why I love you guys. Y'all are the best. Hey, if you have not hit that thumbs up, please hit that thumbs up for me on the way out. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so very much again, as always, for watching, and I'll see you next time. Deuces.